Microphone check 1 2 1 2 faba chakaza abantu buli 1 2 ate buli gwe tuba owulira embuutu abatesa mikuba ntima giba kuba. This is not news, not Agnes Nandutu. Right now, tuli ku microphone check 1 2 1 2, and I'm seated with my boy from
Gulu. No, okay, I'm from Lira actually. I was just trying to make it
Lira
rhyme.
and Gulu. Hey,
Yeah,
you're trying to make it rhyme. But give me the other rhyme you are giving me. You're giving me earlier. Please.
Basic bars. It's just like a winner look at the wheel and a bear. Panatimu piana mitu patu mita wear.
Yes.
Meeting young unu leba joana loho kera.
Yes.
Awe kwenye mono kami to teaching ying pena. Kabero Omara. Kobe ubed mot pay para. Atunu kana mita woro mot loki o lara. Cara, can you swag me luonge, unu swag me law, and I'm taking the game further. Sips coffee for dramatic effects. Sip it like Sevo.
Yeah, yo, first give me some more volume on Omara's mic here. You know what Omara means? Yeah. Yes. Not now. You've increased mine instead. His mic, please.
Should I just get it closer? Suppose we gave up on COVID.
Turn a little bit closer. Let me hold you, baby.
Why are you gay? I was going to sing with you, then I was like, nah, not the two of us.
He got me. You got me on this one. You got me on this one. You got me properly because the timing, you got me. But weren't we just singing Aerosmith here and you're singing with me?
We sang Aerosmith, but that was off camera.
You are looking me in the eyes saying, I don't want to close my eyes. I'm like,
I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you.
I'm like, oh, no, please, no.
Even me now, I don't want.
No.
Bujoga.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Basement, a Baboon Forest podcast where we bring you the best industry players right here. I have a guy who is my brother. Tubade tunyumye bintu bingi nnyo over the years. You get me? And every time we catch up, it's chaos, like it's laughter, it's introspection. Ola wemanye oluzungu.
First bonga here with that big ring you gave.
Yes.
Yeah, kill it.
Introspection, reflection, with no inflections. Tumala yo tuition iye namo buli intro.
Inception.
Yeah. Akati Inception ejira wa.
I like the movie.
Okay.
And it rhymes. Bite me, man.
Okay, we are dreaming on so many levels, yeah? You might call this the inception. But this might be the conception, actually, the immaculate conception of great things to come. And CFNM, ladies and gentlemen, we have Omara Daniel in the building.
What's up? Flexes absent muscles. Happy to be here, man. It's always a pleasure hanging out.
The real muscles are on the inside, like beauty.
My six-pack is hidden under a layer of fat.
I did.
I said I.
There's this thing where people project. You're projecting on me.
You tell me what did I do?
People can give you silent clues that you're gaining weight. They begin saying, hey, you're healthy.
No, but let's be honest. You have the perfect dad bod.
It's not a dad bod. It's a father figure.
Just stop it from becoming full figure. We'll be cool.
But why is she called full figure when she has no?
Isn't it obvious?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
all I'm saying is 8 and 0 are both figures.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see how you played that.
Yeah.
I see how you played that. The last counting number is number 9. Oh my God! Where do we start, Omar?
Hey, at the beginning.
Where do we start?
In the beginning.
Okay. Yes. In the beginning, you guys used the racial slur to name your comedy group.
Okay, that's a weird place to begin from, but
why are you gay?
I can explain.
You can explain.
I can explain.
So why did you use a racial slur to name your comedy group?
I'm sure the more I explain, the worse it's going to get. But let me try, right?
Let's try.
So the idea was we broke into the entertainment industry.
Yes.
And we didn't see it as breaking in. It was more like we established a crack in the system.
Why are you gay?
I told
You
you
see
it
where
was
we're
going to
going,
sound
right?
weirder the more I explain.
You
right?
get me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really weird. So you found the crack,
We found a crack.
Yes.
Yeah. Just as long as, yeah. So we established a crack in the industry. And the idea was we are the guys who, I don't like you right now.
Okay.
We were the crack that was going to lead to the breakthrough of comedy in Uganda.
Okay.
So we chose the name Crackers.
Oh.
But it was also a play on the term rib crackers, but that would have been too obvious.
Yeah, rib crackers would have been too obvious.
It would have been too obvious. And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, someone would have thought that up immediately. But, you know, we wrote a whole proposal about the name.
Yes.
I had it there. And I was the English guy. So, yeah, I did my thing.
Were you inspired by plumbers in any way?
Why would you even say that? Are you saying our humor was shitty? Where are you going with this?
You know how plumbers, like, usually, I don't know, for some reason, it's like really, really weird.
Uh-huh.
You know when you see some things you can't unsee? Like, plumber mugamba genda checking, I don't know if he and Nebwero. Plumbers, like, for some reason, it's like their underwear never gets over their crack. Like, nobody wants to see that. Don't you take it, eh?
Auntie, the thing
So I was like, you guys maybe were inspired by plumbers, and, you know?
the crack was showing. Nah, but me, you know the problem is most plumbers are porn stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Every time I've watched a porno, like a random plumber shows up.
Oh,
like,
but that's character. I want more character now.
I'm here to fix your pipes. And you're like, bro, like,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is still a PG podcast.
so yeah, man.
I'm here to fix your pipes,
I'm
okay?
gonna fix your. I heard there was a leakage.
There was a leak, yes.
I'm like, hey, porn.
Yeah. I don't.
Glad they banned it.
I don't watch it.
I also quit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped watching porn, 6 years ago?
I heard that you quitting.
I quit.
Yeah. Yes.
I quit. I quit
Yes.
quitting the quitting. So I'm consistent.
Speaking about one thing that's really popular in the world, right? Most people watch porn,
Yes.
which is why it's $1 billion industry.
Yes.
And some people actually have addictions to it.
Proper.
Yes. But unlike what we are discussing here, which is your profession, it also grows and swells. Pause. But comedy, on the other side, it has come from just being viewed as this means of making people laugh, that comedians now have been elevated to the philosophers of our time. The Dave Chappelle's,
Yeah.
the
Chris Rock's.
Chris Rock. Yes,
Legend.
Chris Rock's more than philosophy, but like a Ricky Gervais.
Well, I will give you the philosophical bit of Chris Rock.
Okay.
Because I think I grew up on Chris Rock.
Yes.
Like every special. First time I saw Chris Rock was in Lethal Weapon 3 or 2.
Are you on crack? Was he
was in one of those Lethal Weapon movies. Yeah. He was dating Donald Glover's daughter. You know the character Donald Glover plays?
I need to rewatch all these things.
You need to rewatch. And there's a
Yes.
scene where they stumble upon a container full of dead immigrants. A bunch of Chinese suffocated in a container when they were being smuggled into the country.
Yes.
And Chris Rock says the dumbest thing. I had it as a kid. This is like 98, 99.
Yes.
And the guy's like, oh my goodness, as if there's not enough death in America already. Now we're importing victims. I was gone. And I was a child, but for some reason I got that line and I'm like, this guy is hilarious. Who is this guy?
Yes.
So I started following him up. I learned about American Congress from Chris Rock. If someone...
But you're talking about comedy movies, though, not stand-up.
No, in the stand-up.
Okay.
Because I followed him into the stand-up, I saw his specials, and this guy would explain things that are not happening here, and you got them.
Yes.
Now, for me, the thing is, I believe Dave Chappelle is an amazing comedian. But Dave is one of those people who's not going to bother to break it down for you if you don't, like...
If you don't get it.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
On the contrary,
Chris Rock
I think he breaks it down.
He breaks it down the Dave Chappelle way.
Oh, he breaks it down for the intellectuals.
What? Dave?
Hey, while Chris Rock breaks it down for everyone I inch.
Let me say the layman, yes. Let me say, and it's, they're both, I think Chris Rock makes a better teacher than Dave.
Okay.
Dave is a guy you'd enjoy listening to.
To each his own, because for me, Dave has taught me stuff.
Okay, fair enough. But, but maybe it's because you're a good learner.
For the slow students out there.
You see projection. I am being attacked, yet he invited me here. But yeah, so for me it has been that kind of journey. Chris Rock has always been the guy. When I started doing comedy, I was like, this is the template. I need to be able to break things down for someone who doesn't even come from here.
Yes.
But to help them understand. So make your content watchable and relatable on so many levels.
Yes.
Yeah, for your audience, for your target audience.
So, Bigger and Blacker, was that his best for you?
Let me see.
Where he told the difference between the N-word and the black man?
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between the N-word and the black man. I think that was Bigger and Blacker.
I think it was Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah.
Tambourine wasn't a thing.
The Tambourine wasn't that funny for me.
I think the 2004 one, what was it called? I keep forgetting.
The one where he talks about being slapped?
No, that one actually is my least favorite Chris Rock performance.
No, Tambourine is my least favorite, actually. He made a comeback after being slapped.
This, damn it. Cancel, what was that thing called? Selective outrage, yes. I had one problem with selective outrage. There's a point where it was just about emotion.
Yes.
And yet, in comedy, you're supposed to stay funny. Yes.
But that's what I'm talking about, that right now, the depth has reached the emotional state. I mean, it's all emotions at the end of the day. Even laughter is part of an emotion.
Even laughter is part of an emotion.
But right now, in a selective outrage, maybe that's the one where I say, okay, he was a philosopher here.
He did a good job on the show. But like I said, at some point he lost me. When he started talking about the slap, I was like, okay, bro, you have been holding in this anger for quite some time and I can feel it. Like, I get it.
You know, people are petty, eh?
You have to be, man.
People are petty. Do you know how we show this pettiness? So they slapped him over the guy's wife.
Yeah.
So he takes the comedy special to where she was born and where she dated Tupac from. Many people miss this. But the guy was in Baltimore, right?
Yeah. The guy
that's where she comes. That's where she comes from. So I'm going to do it in your hometown,
eh?
With where she first met that guy.
I'm going to do it to you.
And I'm going to do it to you.
But he had the last laugh.
Yes.
Ironically, he had the last laugh. This is just for me.
I'm a Will Smith fan. I still think Will is laughing.
I don't know, though. Will, man. I've always liked Will Smith, and I'm not the kind of guy who's going to change my opinion of you over one incident.
Yeah.
But, man, that was a weak move on his part, man.
Yeah.
And the only people who were supporting that slap, by the way, if you observed carefully, were women and married men. Yes. Let's be the people who supported the slap were women and married men. No, I'm just telling you the truth.
Yes.
Because any sane person would have been like, this is setting a very bad precedent. This is the part of the story people don't know.
Yes.
We were getting threats as comedians, right? Because people had now felt emboldened that, if you say something I don't like, I'm going to walk up to the stage and slap you.
This is, yes, first finish that point. Nina kati burning thing, teacher me.
Teacher,
after.
yes, okay, student, yes. You want to go to the toilet?
No, not now, but teacher me after your point.
Yeah.
Yes.
What they didn't realize is comedians were also going to fight back physically. I had a knife on me.
Wow.
I was wishing someone would. Because if you're going to tell me...
You wouldn't use it.
No, you know that the small one you stick in between your knuckles? Me, I'm ready for stuff all the time.
This guy has watched so many ninja movies.
Listen,
he has just been watching that one, that Shogun. He's just been watching Shogun.
It's not even ninja movies because the way people were talking.
Yes.
If you say something I don't like, it's not about you say something about me. If you say something I don't like.
Yes.
Essentially, they were saying we're going to start beating up comedians for being funny.
So in your opinion, free speech in comedy should never be. It should never be monitored. Comedy should never be monitored. There should always be free speech.
No, I'm not saying comedy should never be monitored.
Yeah.
But there is, how can I put it? There's nuance to the way things operate. Huh. Like I can tell you, we're throwing words here, nuance. But the thing is, you can't start policing what people are allowed to say. You can judge them for what they said, right? Which you're allowed to do. Definitely. You can judge them for what they say. But comedy is about sacrifice. If you're going to make fun of one person in the audience to make 800 other people laugh,
Yes.
that's their turn on that day. Next time it's going to be about someone else.
Like take a joke.
Take
Learn
a
how
joke.
to take a joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's be honest about that Chris Rock joke. It was the least, it was the most chill way that joke could have been told. Because someone said,
Yes, please, yes.
he could have said Will Smith is the luckiest man tonight because he's living with 2 Oscars. One of them is his wife. Like, do you know how many? There were so many savage
I
variations
get it
to that
because
joke.
she's bold. Eh?
Exactly.
She looks like,
There were so many savage variations to that joke. That was the tamest version. But
Yes.
like I said, married men had to show their wives, yeah, me, I would stand up for you if someone said something. These are celebrities. Jada is a big
Okay,
celeb.
let me play God's advocate.
Lol.
Like-
Naye sitani.
The LOL model. We were going to get to why you call yourself the LOL model.
Okay.
But the way that I looked at it, right, was in the lens of cyberbullying. Because for the people that know them, right, Will Smith has always been working himself up in Hollywood, right, until he was like the #1 pick. Nearly for people, the scripts he would pass on, his friends would get.
Yeah. We've grown with him.
Yes, and then there comes this love triangle, the Nsimbi.
Yeah.
When people want it, when people are in that love triangle and they want things get a little complicated. Now, you need to understand that Chris Rock is a very talented gentleman. Now, imagine being passed on each and every time for the other guy who's more handsome than you, taller than you, probably boxes even better than you. Like, guy is better than you, like, in every aspect.
To be honest, sounds better because Chris Rock has that voice.
Kadonki.
Yeah.
Yes, he's basically a donkey. And we love him for that too.
Yeah, we love him.
But from what I hear, Chris Rock, I don't know this definitively, but from what I hear from Hollywood corridors is that he's a bully with his mouth.
Chris Rock.
With his mouth. And if we are in the space which accepts that someone can be bullied emotionally, someone can just pass you every time and say, you're ugly.
Yeah.
It's like these words hold weight.
Fair enough.
For some people, right? Now, it's been said that he tried a move on Jada long ago and it didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
So what he resorted to was always attacking the husband. Will Smith. You get me? Will Smith this. Will Smith that. And also, because he has this like loud mouth, right?
Yeah.
And he always uses comedy as the veil to attack people. I remember, I don't know who was being indicted into that Mark Twain, the one that they're giving comedians right now, the Mark Twain Award.
Yeah.
And it was this guy who came in and he had Parkinson's and whatever. And he cracked a joke of what Chris Rock told him backstage. But it was about how fast he was getting to the stage. You know, like, it's a joke, fine, right?
Yes.
But, you know, this is a man with Parkinson's, and he's a comedian who got Parkinson's, right?
Yeah.
But he roasted him backstage for how long he was going to take to get to the what? To the mic. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
But that's to a person who knows how to take a joke. Now, you need to understand, Will Smith is a comedian. About the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air only.
Did he try some? No, okay, he didn't do stand-up. Yeah, it was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He didn't.
Yeah, after that, he became the...
So apparently, most people think this slap came out of nowhere. But other people think this man is known to emotionally bully with his mouth, using comedy as a cover. And then the events that lead up to that slap, Zebatalava, Nenga was Nyinji. There are many of them.
I will give you a contrast scenario.
Yes.
Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
Hosting the, what was it? The Grammys or the Oscars?
The Oscars, yes.
Don't you think that man should have been slapped?
I don't think he did it twice.
That guy straight up called them a bunch of pedophiles.
He did it twice, and I don't think he's coming back the third time.
He's not coming back a third time.
Yeah, now you see.
But
Why do you think he's not coming back the third time? Because people got emotional.
Yes, of course people got emotional, but no one walked up to him and slapped him. For me, what I'm trying to avoid is people...
There's someone emotionally... People have different levels of controlling their anger. It's a sign of maturity to control your anger,
It's a sign of maturity.
There are people who will not go slap you physically on stage.
They'll make your life difficult.
But they'll blackmail the shit out of you. Oh, you know, right?
I
They will
guess.
blackmail the shit out of you. Like, we have different levels of emotional maturity. And when I observe Will Smith's character, Will Smith reminds me of these people who always show a smile, but he might be suffering deeply.
Listen, a lot of people smile yet on the inside.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
So
For
maybe
me,
that time he had reached his carrying capacity in to say one.
the reason I'm against the slap in general is because if you flipped any of these scenarios, that slap would not have happened. If Chris Rock was bigger than Will, that slap would not have happened. If Chris Rock was a female, that slap would not have happened. There are so many variables whereby the world would have been like, oh no, how could you do that? But just because it's Chris Rock, it's a dude, people bully with their mouths all the time. It's basically what comedians do. But a comedian's not going to walk up to a cancer patient who's randomly chilling there and start roasting a person.
I've seen a few movies actually where a person walks up to the Make-A-Wish Foundation kid and roasts the kid.
Is it part of the kid's wish?
Hey, it's part of the kid's wish.
Well, if the kid asks for it, it's the same debate we had about Tenge Tenge, right? Remember the time Mariachi?
You see, guys,
Yes, the time MC Mariachi was on stage and he looked Tenge Tenge in the eye and told him, yo, if you were born as my child, I would have left you at the hospital.
No.
Your dad is brave.
No.
Now,
you see,
here's the funny
this
thing,
is a
right?
child, though.
And even I said, you know what? Yo, Mariachi crossed the line with that one.
Yes.
I said that.
Yes.
But the audience was laughing. The kid's father was laughing in the audience. Tenge Tenge's dad was there laughing his butt off.
Yes.
And let's be honest, guys were essentially saying that, so Mariachi made fun of the guy's head and eyes, right? And I got called in for an interview.
Don't make me, I'm not going to laugh.
I'm not going, try not to. So I get called in for an interview and they're grilling me. They're like, do you agree with what Mariachi said? I'm like, no. But I also don't agree with the way people are handling it. People are saying you can't make fun of a kid. Number one, that guy is a celebrity.
He is, yes.
He is. So he's free reign.
Bonafide celebrity with
celebrity.
2 million followers now? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what is his selling point?
His looks.
Exactly. Every video of his starts with his head and then his eyes. But we are not allowed to talk about it. It's what he's using to make money. The least we can do is make fun of it.
This is like a very, very sensitive area because, again, he's underage.
For what?
You need to consider that he's underage. And most of the decisions being made are not on his...
I can respect that. And like I said...
He's not making them like as a person of sound mind.
I get that. And that's why I said, for me, that's a line I wouldn't cross. But I can't dictate that for the industry.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
You said you don't agree with the slap. But are there scenarios where you agree with the slap?
Scenarios where I agree with the slap.
Or where you'd welcome a slap. Or where you've used the slap.
No, for me, okay. Let me give you an example. I'm still looking for people after the march to Parliament. Remember of last year?
Yes.
Anyone on Twitter who insulted my mom because we had a difference of opinion?
Oh, okay. Tell me about this. What happened?
No, I'm going to find them in public.
What happened?
Okay, so the March to Parliament protests
start
in Kenya. I think there was a wave going on in Nigeria and Ghana. It was a thing, right?
Yes.
It was like the Black Arab
The
Spring.
Black Rising.
Yeah, man. Everyone is like, yes, we need to ride this wave. So I'm minding my own business. I'm on set filming a sitcom.
Yeah.
And I get a notification of a tweet. Someone's asking me, but where are you celebrities? Where are you entertainers? Why aren't you on the front line?
Yes.
I'm like, who are you sending to the front line? I don't owe you anything being on the front line.
Why aren't you
on the front line?
Yes,
You're tweeting from home.
Yes.
You get? And me, I'm one of those people. I have a family. I have dependents. I have people who rely on me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I was for the safe corridor option. I'm like, listen, as long as we can get to air our grievances.
Yes.
But people were attacking anyone who suggested anything other than the suicide mission of marching to Parliament. We know which country we live in. We all remember November 2020.
What happened in November? I wasn't here. I missed a few things.
There was that protest that went haywire where people were doing drive-bys in police cars. But the whole thing was wild.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that. That was scary.
So
that
visually,
was scary. And it was still towards
election.
Towards election.
Yeah.
Yes.
So visually for me, I'm like, nah.
I'm not doing that.
I am not getting on the front line. So guys start the whole thing, we are going to cancel you. And Ugandans don't.
But isn't your tribe supposed to be the brave people of this land?
My tribe is brave, not stupid. There's a difference. And let's be honest.
Yes.
I gave my honest opinion about the thing, and I was like, guys, listen, it's
Yes.
too obvious what you're about to do.
And what's about to happen?
And what's about to happen. There's no way you're going to catch the government off guard. Dude, I saw a sniper standing next to Bank of Baroda, cradling a 6-foot rifle like
And
this.
these people are like, but they call them trigger happy.
First of all,
These Ugandan soldiers are trigger giggling even.
yes!
They're like, I pray today that they mess up.
I
want
wish
to
they
use this gun on them.
I've been saving this
pray
bullet.
someone. Yes.
And you're not supposed to see snipers. That was what disturbed me.
Oh.
You're not supposed to see
Actually,
a sniper.
Kampala is not a place for snipers.
At all.
It's batons and colorful tear gas.
Pink, blue,
Yes.
flavors.
It's basically like that Indian function where they go, the festival of colors.
Diwali.
Diwali.
Just go and paint each other with tear gas.
Yes.
Police is like, yeah, they're on that Cisco. So I looked at everything and I was like, this is
You hear me?
yeah. Psst, feel this tear gas, man. Feel this water. Why is it blue though? Like it's like almost like
This podcast is wrong on so many levels. Wrong on so many levels.
So it was a clear display of military might.
Yes.
It was a clear, I wish you would try something.
Yes.
And me, I was just like, yo, guys, this is not the time. And we got bullied by a whole other country into a protest that was not going to work out.
The
Kenyans
Kenyan.
are like, let us show you how it is done. We're going to liberate Nairobi and then we come to Uganda.
But
and
they
we show you-"
succeeded.
Did they though?
No, they did. The law wasn't passed.
But Ruto is still president.
Yes, but the law
It wasn't passed, but it
wasn't
is now
passed.
being snuck in the background.
I know Kenyans. You know, when it comes to Ugandans and Kenyans, and I know this definitively, I know my people,
Yeah.
especially the people in the central. People in the central love warm water for showering.
For us, up in north, it's hot by default.
I thought by default.
Yeah, the tanks, the moment that kasana hits your tank,
Yeah.
you have hot
And
water.
you guys have to prove you're men by going to a bush for some time. But these people here, you only have to prove you're a man by showing a few cows, and that's it. You get. They're used to a soft life. Now, compare that in contrast to our brothers in Tanzania and Kenya, who have giddy,
The Mau vibes.
Mau. Like,
Yes.
there's warrior blood, basically. Like, they were shooting these kids on the edge of the parliament, and they
And
were
I
still
saw
marching
that.
forward.
Yeah.
I was like, even in my university days, I wasn't brave. I wasn't that brave.
No, look.
In my university days, I would hold the canister and throw it back. But now, you shoot a bullet, I'm like...
Hold the
yes.
canister.
I would shoot these tear gas things.
Go for riots with a kavera. That's what I always tell people. If you're going
Yeah.
for a protest, go with
Yes.
a kavera. So that if they fire tear gas at you,
No, go with water.
put it in the kavera, tie that. Like, why? Yeah.
First, we'd throw them back. And you know what's crazy?
Me, I'm going to keep the tear gas.
In my year, because they would throw them inside the hall where I would... You're not part of the protest, right? But then they would shoot it and it would land in the quadrangle and the gates are locked.
Yeah.
So you'd have to grab it and throw it back. So it had been a series of throwing them back.
Get a kavera.
And then on one day, this guy grabbed it
And
and it detonated in his hand.
that kavera. This is what I've been
I'm
saying.
like, oh my God.
Now imagine losing
Like it
a
was a
hand.
very different day losing a hand.
And you need that hand, man.
Aren't you ambidextrous?
Imagine that dude is now working with his weaker arm.
Don't you do the...
And you're doing, nah, man. I'm right-handed. You get. Don't shake my hand when I've just come out of the bedroom.
Okay.
So basically,
Point taken.
the Kenyans went ahead and did their protest.
Yes.
Whether it was successful or not remains to be seen, right? Because this stuff. The problem we had as Ugandans is we assumed everything was going to change because of one protest.
Which is always the mistake.
And there was no follow-up strategy because everyone's like, strategy what? Strategy, a protest is to show that we're angry. And I was like, guys, if you're going up against a guy with up to 5 decades of political knowledge and experience, plus an army, you need a strategy.
Of course.
You can't just, and someone was telling me the strategy is to be angry. I was like, nah, I do not want to be a part of this.
Do you think the French Revolution had a strategy? Why are we talking about this, by the way? Why are we here?
Because of mom. So people came for my mother, mama wo, nyoko, what, all those things. They threw all those insults. And me, I told them, I'm not going to come after anyone's family. I'm not even going to insult anyone online.
Yes.
But I will meet them in person one day. And I've made up my mind. Whenever I see a morpho in public, there's going to be a misunderstanding. In the words of Bunny Mark.
Yes.
I've
There's
kept
going to be a
them here.
misunderstanding.
There's going to be a misunderstanding. Because
I know where you went to school. Because I know people from that hill like to make threats.
So I went to 5 schools.
Yes.
But, let's focus on Mwiri for now.
Yes.
And I have held it inside. Because it has become the norm. If I disagree with you, I'm going to insult your family. I was just taking screenshots and writing names.
Yes.
I have my list on the phone. One day, you're going to hear Omara was climbing someone. And not in the...
In the... Don't you count to 10 and say, Usa?
No. Screw USA. No. Social media has made people get too comfortable with talking shit and not getting their asses whooped. Me, I'm a guy who's like, what were you saying on social media?
Yes.
Back it up physically.
Now, what if you approach a guy who secretly knows Taekwondo and he holds in a headlock?
People
are like, comedian Omar was held in a headlock by a chick who was in P2.
It's okay. I can stone you from a distance. A chick in P2?
Yes.
I am so insulted because the colonial mentality is not what I was into.
That's my lyrics, though.
Speaking vernacular. I have you on that one.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, it's not like I'm going around looking for fights.
Yes.
But it's just to show people you cannot recruit people for a cause by insulting them over a difference of opinion.
Yes.
You can't say, fuck you, join comedy. I'm like, what? Your parents are stupid. I want you to come and perform at my show.
Yes,
it doesn't make
yes,
sense.
yes,
It's the exact opposite of what's supposed to be happening. So I think the whole thing failed at the recruitment phase because a lot of people didn't want to be associated with that particular movement.
Yes.
Not that they don't want to be a part of the change in the country.
Yes.
But they're like, I'm going to do it a different way from how these guys are delivering it.
Yes.
And that was it, man. But they will be looked for and they will be found.
Threats have been fired.
Ask anyone who knows me. I back up my threat.
But when you're a comedian, even if you make these threats, nobody's going to take you seriously.
And that's the beauty. They won't see me coming like a blind hole.
Because I know you, and so many people know you can't hurt a fly.
Ask the flies in the toilet. They have failed me, man. Like, guys. Like I said, if someone came and said, yo, hey, sorry about that, as in the heat of the moment, I said some stuff I shouldn't have said, sorry. We are good.
Yes.
But no one is acknowledging.
The thing about online comments is that people, like, there's the safety of the veil. Mm-hmm. You can never be found. People are like, where are you going to find me? And by the time you get to me, you're already like, Usa.
You just wait for the next Twitter party. Ugandans on X.
Yes.
That sounds like a drug thingy, by the way, like a DD party. Like Ugandans on X.
Now that sounds like a drug party in Los Angeles.
Sweet.
It's like ecstasy in Hollywood Hills. Kids don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. This is strictly for entertainment only. And we must put a disclaimer, by the way, at the beginning of this, that everything that's said is for entertainment only. But I want to take you back to 1968 when you were born. Right?
What? Mom!
So when you were born in 1968...
My parents gave me the wrong date.
When you were born in 1968, where exactly was it? Was it in Namuongo or was it in Gulu?
No, actually, I think I was born in Bukoto Flats.
Planned kid, eh?
No, I'm a planned hustler. Listen, there's a difference between a planned kid.
Bukoto Flats.
Planned kids are
That's
born.
like saying you are let me put this in African terms. Being born in Bukoto Flats is like saying you are born in Manhattan on the Empire State Building.
What? No. This was free housing back in the day for government employees. My dad was what? In Uganda? They had just come back from exile. But he landed a job in Uganda prisons.
Do you know even saying the word exile means you're fancy?
Yes. The man had to smuggle his kids across the border during a war. My parents forever have... My mom was pregnant. They forever have my respect for that. Because I think our generation is kind of softer than them because we didn't go what they went through.
Yes. No, we've never seen war. I mean, apart from our brothers in the north. So many people in the central have never seen war. Yeah. Like, even at my age, I've never seen war.
Yeah, that's why even us northerners, we don't want it again. Because it got to a point where you could identify a rebel by how he fired this gun. It's like, you're like, that's a mom. fires 4 times for dramatic effect. Like, imagine being so traumatic. You know what they told me the first time I was going to Gulu?
Yeah.
So my homeboys know I can be a bit volatile sometimes.
Yes.
I don't take disrespect kindly.
Yes.
I try to avoid conflict, but there's a line you don't cross.
In good spirits.
In good spirits,
Yes.
right? And the philosophy of combat is don't fight to win, fight to destroy. The more damage you do in the least time,
I need to note that down.
yeah, the higher your chances of winning. Because me, I'm one of those people who's like, yeah, they mixed me, but you should see the other guy. Again, I'm traveling to Gulu in 2013. My homeboy Mark Mort is like, Omara, piece of advice. Do not instigate, do not initiate, and
Yes.
do not participate
Yes.
in fights.
That's the best way to go about
And
life.
I'm like, why? Just like, well, you guys are fighting for 2 different reasons.
Yeah.
These are guys who have had war trauma. They don't fight to win.
They fight to survive.
They are fighting to survive. So you're considered a threat. And the fight ends when you're down,
And can't move.
possibly dead. Anything can happen, right?
Yes, yes.
For you're fighting for the glory of the victory of throwing hands
Yes.
and stuff. You're 2 different people.
Yes.
You're not going to win against a guy like that.
Yeah.
I was warned. And I was like, hey, Gulu is not the place Gulu is not the place to start a fight, man.
Yes.
Those guys will beat the socks out of your shoes without taking the shoes off. Have you ever found yourself barefooted in your own sneakers? Yet you showed up with socks. Like,
Hey.
it is not for jokes, man. So overall, people are trying to avoid war and
Yeah.
conflict and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally. I don't like throwing hands.
So you've just reminded me of the last misunderstanding I had in Gulu. It was at this place where everybody used to go. It was a very popular bar.
BJ's.
That name, I don't know why,
Why
they
are
gave
you
it that
gay?
name.
Why?
Why are you gay? Gulu, like Gulu, like why is that the initials that you chose?
Man, that was false advertising, though. I was so pissed when I went there and they were not giving the product in the name. I was like, where's mine?
So my wife, my partner, she loved going to that place for some reason. So I went up there for sometime, like for nostalgia purposes, and they let all the white people walk through the gate, and me who had just killed the whole stadium. They told me, you and your crew first stand on the side and be checked. I'm like, how? In Africa?
Yeah.
You've let all the white people through and then you want all my boys to be checked.
Yeah.
I began telling this guy, I'm giving him a long speech about Pan-Africanism and whatever. But he interpreted that as disrespect. Nobody had ever... To him, I was this celebrity coming from Kampala, trying to disrespect his staff.
With your big
and
head.
disrespect his word.
Yeah.
But I was trying to make him understand that it's actually wrong for you to check black people and then let white people just walk through.
I understand, yeah.
You get me? So we had a very, very big misunderstanding.
Meanwhile, that happens everywhere, not
Yeah.
just Gulu.
Yeah, even here at Garden City.
Here, Garden
Yeah,
City,
yeah.
any club started by an Indian, the Indians get in, like no checking and what. But I can understand it happening in Gulu because, man,
But
a
the
white
thing is
person
that
in Gulu,
it's usually the guards that enforce that.
Yeah.
That's which is what surprises me.
it's the security, the bouncers that enforce it.
Yeah.
But in Gulu, you have to understand, the white person is the complete contrast of the norm. Like
Norm,
yeah. Like you listen, Gulu is dark people.
Yes.
Tall, dark people.
Yes.
And then you have this one person walking around just being the opposite color.
Yes. And totally opposite.
Totally opposite. Everyone's like, you first get in, please. Let's not make life any harder for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we also want to get to know who made you like this.
Yes.
Yeah, and me, I'm all for it because, not all for the, internalized racism.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about things like if I went abroad, there's no way I'm marrying a black woman. It doesn't make sense to travel that far and end up with the same color.
Bruh, like
it
this
doesn't.
podcast is wrong on some...
No!
Don't say that.
This is not even me being Mbubichi. If I'm going abroad, I'm looking for a
you're
white
an African
woman.
man. Are you,
Yes.
are you planning to have 5?
5 what?
5 wives?
5 wives?
Yes.
No, I don't plan on having 5.
How many are you planning on having?
One woman is stress enough. Do you know how the relationship
So
is
you
with
want
one
to
chick?
again go out of Uganda and then you marry someone?
I'm saying if I were to
Yes.
leave Uganda, right,
Yeah.
and like find a permanent residence here abroad, it's a white chick. Because I'm like, listen,
No, brother, that sounds wrong.
I want my kids to have an advantage during roll call. This business of Omara Jr. present where? I don't know.
Oh my God. we need a disclaimer.
No. Because me, personally, I'm not going to lie. Like, if you, a Muzungu came from the US, ended up in Uganda and married another Muzungu, I'd be like, why? You're surrounded by black. I understand you understand each other.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Diversify.
Yeah. Diversify.
DEI.
And by the way, by 2050, most kids are going to be mixed.
Yes. And you know Northerners.
Yeah.
We like our women light-skinned.
No.
Oh, sure.
See, that's another problem we need to address. But that's a podcast for another day about colorism.
We can address it now.
Internalized colorism.
Light-skinned people are just easier to spot.
No.
Yeah, they're just easier to see. Like, you
Omar, they're going to cut a clip from this and put you on the internet, and you're going to go everywhere. And
I've made peace with it, man. No, me, I'm just saying.
Okay, tell me about it. I want to really dissect this. Let's
Okay.
get to the bottom of it.
Look at a lot of Northerners
Yes.
who have married from other tribes.
Yes.
The wife is always yellow.
That's internalized colorism.
It's diversity, man.
No.
Listen, if you're going to marry a
Are you
Munyankole...
talking about opposites attract?
Exactly.
No.
And also, if you're going to marry a Munyankole and you're from the north, and then you go pick a dark-skinned Munyankole...
Emuhiru. Or Emuhima.
What have you achieved?
And marriage is not supposed to be about achievement. It's about recognizing values in each other.
Yes, and recognize values in light-skinned partners. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Because if someone's going to call it colorism, yet you found a good woman who just happens to be light-skinned.
Yes.
And also wants to marry you back. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm cool with that. Let people marry who they want to marry.
Yes.
Yeah, for you, if you're cool with sticking to one color scheme,
So
you.
if Lupita Nyong'o found you lying somewhere on a beach in Zanzibar and she said, "Hey, you're single. I'm single too. I see us in the future having like a bunch of kids," you would refuse.
In Zanzibar.
Okay, no, not in Zanzibar.
Yeah, we are still in Africa.
Okay, you're still in Africa. Let me take you somewhere else. You're in Lupita Nyong'o wouldn't go to Tulum because Tulum has so many people. Let me stay. You're in Zihuatanejo.
What the?
Zihuatanejo, Mexico.
That's a place.
You're on the other side. Yes. It's with an X. I might be butchering the accent.
Me, I'm hearing
but
a
it begins
Uganda pronouncing
with
Mexican
a
words.
QX. It's been to be one of
Oh, those things of Kwesehot.
Zihuatanejo. You guys can look it up on Google.
And I thought French was messed up.
But the Mexicans are still very forgiving to our accents. You can maybe Guantanejo. Okay, I mean, X might not be even people. You're in Guantanejo, and Lupita shows up on the beach. You get me? And you're so there lying with your 6-pack or 1-pack.
Facing upwards.
Facing upwards,
Yeah.
and then the shadow covers your face. Then you get up like this, and this Lupita Nyong'o, and she says, "Omar, I've been looking for you. I've been obsessed. Like you and I. There's no other, like just like the wheels of a gear, the way they fit.
We interlock.
Is how I see us.
Then we,
You get me?
Yeah.
Like synergy weri. You get me? And then she's like, let's make this a thing. A response.
In Mexico.
Hey, Mexico.
Where are the cameras? That was the first thing I would say.
They're not cameras.
And
It's just
secondly,
the two of you.
Where's the cartel? Who sent you, Lupita? Why? I'd be like, Wakanda forever. We don't do that around here. But no, honestly.
Yes.
It's not that I have written it in stone that automatically, if you go abroad, you have to end up with someone of a different race. I'm just saying, it makes more sense preferably.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you went to Spain and came back with a black woman, I'd be like, where did you even find her? Like...
Oh, no. The Moors were in Spain.
Oh, yeah.
The Moors were in Spain. Yeah.
But
Othello was a black man.
Oh,
he
yes.
left a few daughters. Yeah.
Polygamy. But yeah, that's the thing. If, of course, for me, at the end of the day,
Yes.
if you have someone who values and respects you,
Yes.
the color is irrelevant. It just so happens that all my exes are light-skinned.
I see your type. Yeah, you have a type.
Everyone has a type. I see your type.
I don't have a type.
You
I swear I don't have a type.
at all.
At all. It was just like heaven.
You fell in things.
Heaven, no. No, heaven just brought us together.
It's beautiful, though.
It's one of those things where it's not even your heart that chooses, but it's like God just like.
No, me, I'm happy for you. I wouldn't call it colorism. I'm like, well done. Diversify the portfolio.
Guys were calling me Kofi Annan.
Coffee.
I'm like, okay, Ugandans, so you have your problems.
I think it would be more like African tea, but with coffee. You know, the blend. Mix the milk with the coffee. And
This guy wants to have me on my phone.
I'm celebrating this stuff. Like, I'm celebrating diversity. I would not be... Like, I wouldn't be mad at anyone who married someone who made them happy, regardless of race or skin color or anything like that.
It's all about happiness at the end of the day, and how you fit into each other's world.
And shared values, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, man, you can't be in two open relationships and me, I want a serious marriage and we work out. What is this? That's like sending a vegetarian to hunt for food. He's going to bring you a cabbage and say, unga, I chased it.
Are you a vegetarian?
No.
Oh,
I'm the farthest thing from
you're a mythologist.
Actually, hey, we can't be using the word meat like that in this economy.
Hey, not meteorologist, but a mythologist. I'm trying to play around on the word meat. What's wrong with meat?
Why are you gay?
You beat your meat. Okay, I've been so far away from here that you're landing me into so many traps.
Man.
But I'm talking about, I went to Nairobi. I had no idea how much meat these people consume. We think we are meat eaters. No. Kenyans have even a saying where they say, if you put too much soup in your plate, it's for poor people. Because the guy with enough meat, the meat is supposed to make it dense enough that you don't even need the soup.
This is going to sound wrong, but how do they swallow, though?
The meat.
You see, there's no way this conversation is going to sound normal. Part of the soup is to help you swallow the meat.
Omara, what was the title of your first comedy show? Let's get away from there.
Well, my first comedy show, which, like the special?
You have a special?
I have a special. It's called The LOL Model.
Oh, that was the special.
That was the special, but it was also the name I had chosen for myself. You know how every comedian has a tagline? Like Salvador, man from Ombokolo.
Yes.
Ronnie McVex, Mr. Good News.
But you know what's funny? Even the name that you chose for your special, like, have you ever gone for a massage in Kampala? And they offer you the special?
The LOL
okay.
Model.
So the LOL Model is the title of your special. Where do we find it? Is it on Amazon?
No,
YouTube?
I've been posting clips on YouTube and whatever, TikTok.
Yes.
Mostly on TikTok, because I was trying to understand how TikTok works. You know, the problem with being a millennial on an app that's designed for Gen Z.
You're not a millennial.
I'm a millennial.
You were born in 68.
Okay.
That's not millennial.
As a boomer, it's hard.
You're trying to fix yourself in there, and I know.
You guys, don't let him lie to you. I was born in 87. Okay, I've seen one president. So I chose the name The LOL Model. Because I wanted people to embrace the tagline.
Yes.
Like I said, every comedian has their tagline.
Yes. What's Salvador's tagline?
Man from Ombokolo.
Yes.
Ronnie McVex, Mr. Good News.
What's Trevor Noah's?
I don't know if Trevor Noah has a tagline. What?
Born a Crime?
No, that was the title of his special. I think for him, he just calls himself Trevor Noah. But in Uganda, comedians have taglines. Like Museveni, president of Uganda, that's his tagline. Awesome comedian, by the way.
You're calling him a comedian.
He's funny. Let's be honest. Sevo is hilarious.
Do not put your fingers in the anus of a leopard. Yeah. Isn't that what he said?
Kuchi. But no.
Actually,
Sevo.
I'm not even playing around. This was a line that came from
Sevo.
Yes, it's from Sevo.
When your president says stuff like that,
yes.
Like I watched one of his speeches where the guy was like, "Man, people die, and then they say, oh, God took him too soon. Why is God taking people when they're young? Is he lonely? Doesn't he have company up there?"
Who was saying this now?
The president. Museveni is the most random person in this country.
I just saw the clip where he was playing tennis with the mosquitoes. He's like...
Then the whole thing of the mouse is for eating, then jogging in State House.
Actually, we could put together a whole special of 1 hour.
Just a compilation of stuff. Yes. And we call it Shit Museveni Said.
No, please.
And it would be hilarious.
Please don't put the S word with the president's name in it.
Okay, the S word could be stuff.
stuff.
But it doesn't sound as impactful.
No, that's clean. That sounds cleaner.
Does not sound as impactful. We need to feel the full weight of this thing. But yeah, so I used that line because I'm an educator.
Yes. And
I take it very seriously.
LOL comes from laugh out loud.
Laugh
right?
out loud, yes.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a positive role model.
You are a positive role model?
Using comedy. I am.
How are you a positive role model?
Look at me. Insert effects. Huh? Filter, what? Hearts, bichi bichi.
Yes.
Take it. I forgot to oil my lips. But work with me. But yes.
The LOL model. This was born in, what year? What year was this?
The name came up in 2016.
It's also your Twitter handle, by the way.
It's my Twitter handle, yes.
Yes.
The name came up in 2016, but the special was in 2022.
Okay.
So I'd had the tagline for a while because I'd been trying to rebrand after Comedy Files collapsed and all those things.
Yes.
I was trying to switch things up. But the concept behind it is when we were being mentored in comedy by Al Projas and Joe Parker.
Oh, who are those?
Oh, the South African comedians. These guys had like 30, 40 years of
I
comedy
didn't know
experience.
because you guys were telling me that you went through a class. I didn't know that it was an actual class.
It was an actual class. And I'm going to get
first mention these Africans' names because
Al Projas and Joe Parker. I think.
Please say it slowly.
Al Projas.
Al.
Projas.
Yeah.
And then Joe Parker.
And Joe Parker.
Yeah. Joe Parker must be closing in on his 80s by now. These are not young men. Al Projas must be.
Have you ever done this? Do this.
I know you.
Say Parker.
I know. And get me into.
I think I'm still a child. I'm still a child right now. I'm still a child.
We all are, don't worry. Yes. So these guys told us, we want you to be the type of brand that a family is comfortable having lunch with.
So they first looked upon you starving kids of Africa with flies on your faces. Then they're like, the only thing to save these kids is comedy. So they boarded a plane from South Africa. Is it Johannesburg or Cape Town?
Joburg.
It was a UN plane. They boarded two comedians
with
to come teach
license.
you some skills.
Yes.
So you would save yourselves.
Yeah, because it had succeeded in Malawi.
Yes.
I think it had succeeded in Zambia.
Yes.
The show was a success, and then they came and did stand-up Uganda. What was it called? Never Machine had collaborated with DSTV.
Yes.
To do a show.
To save African kids.
To save African kids.
Yes.
And we went
Did you have that picture with a fly on your face?
No, man. I had mosquitoes. My photo had mosquitoes, as my brother calls them, moquies.
Yes.
As under mosquito net, I'm like, save the African child. But they told us, one of the things in our training was, we want you to be a brand that parents are comfortable having lunch with their children on a Sunday afternoon.
Clean something.
Yes.
I mean, look at who you have become.
See, I try, except for when we start talking about meat and stuff. But
I was just innocently talking about meat. Like, to be honest, there was nothing under that. You're thinking as a rapper, and then you're also thinking as a comedian. I was literally talking about carnivorous activities.
Yeah, like eating what? But yeah, we were taught. So the role model is me wanting to be a positive role model with a sense of humor.
Yes.
And so play on the word role model.
Yes.
With the LOL. And I just had fun with it. But the training we went through in Stand Up Uganda was brutal. In the sense that we were not expecting that level of training for something like comedy.
So what happened? What did they take you through? Like drills, like military? You are G.I. Jane.
We were G.I. Jane, man. We had to shave our hair everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and then just go crawl under barbed wire with live shots being fired over us. You guy, we had to hunt monkeys, and I'm joking. But the thing is, we had very random exercises that were supposed to teach you different things, right? Like they told us.
So you guys think critical thought was torture?
Critical thought. Listen, who would have known there was a curriculum for comedy? Who would have guessed there was a curriculum for stand-up comedy?
I didn't know that was a thing, actually.
Because even
I thought it's a thing you're just born with, and they just put you on stage like.
Yes. Yeah. So it was a mind-blowing discovery for me, who was doing education at the time.
Yes.
Starting to become a teacher. I was like, wait, what? There's a plan. There's a strategy behind this. You have to write your jokes down. Because when I went for the audition, I just had things in my mind. I critiqued the contract
Yes.
and the legalese and the
Oh,
language.
you were making fun of their...
Yeah, I was making fun of the contract. And guys, that's how I got through the first audition.
Yes,
The
yes.
second audition was me telling them, hey, look, if I don't make it, my parents are going to end me. I borrowed transport money to be here.
Yes.
Like,
I need to
and
be...
The struggle is already bad enough as it
Yes,
is. My head
yes.
is shaped like my father's
Yes.
foot. And I need to get things to have a better life. So if you never hear from me again, you know it was your fault.
It's on you.
It's on you.
So emotional blackmail
Emotional
was the way
blackmail,
you got in.
but with humor.
Yes.
And so by the time I get in, they're teaching us how to write content. They're telling us you have to show up every morning with at least 1 minute of material. And it has to be funny.
Every morning?
Every morning.
With 1 minute of material?
1 minute of material.
How long was the program?
The program was what? A week and a half? And then if you showed up late, because they said you're on time if you're early, you're late if you're on time. So it starts at 10 and ends at 4. If you showed up at 10, they'll just tell you, head to the front. I expect a 1 minute set from you about why you're late, what delayed you on the way.
They were really serious.
They were dead serious.
So you would arrive late and then they make you write a 1 minute comedy about why you're late.
Yes, an impromptu performance.
Yes.
And you're not supposed to use the one that you had written as for presentation that
Yes,
day.
yes.
Then sometimes they would give you a word, and they're like, yo, the black box is, okay, they'll give you a phrase.
Like bird's the word.
Bird's the word, right?
Yes,
and you're supposed to come up with content around a bird. The most interesting take
Yes.
basically wins. Or they'll tell you the only thing that survives a plane crash is the black box.
Why?
Yeah, so why isn't the whole aircraft made out of black box? And they've given you something to start, like a philosophical question, and you're like, okay, let's start from there.
Yes.
And it was us gauging each other constantly. And then there were days where they would say, okay, you're going to stand inside a box. They've drawn a tape that is just...
It was that big?
Yeah? No, it's just... the box they've drawn is just enough for your feet.
Okay.
And then they place a microphone in front of you and tell you, do not leave the box. We want you to deliver your material.
Do not leave the box.
Do not leave the box.
Yes.
Stay in there. And you have to deliver your material. You can gesture with your hands, you can move your head, you can talk, but you can't use your legs. So it's only your upper body working. And
for you guys, that was a punishment, not to leave the box.
It was training, because us as we are physical people. Like, we're like, yeah, we need to... That was easy for me because I'm not the jumpy, all over the place guy. And then to contrast that, they would give you an exercise whereby you pair up with someone. And this is how Salvador and I became friends.
Yes.
Because we didn't like each other at the beginning of the competition. But they paired us up and told us there's this exercise where you are supposed to communicate with the person they've paired you with without using words. Use
So
your
sign
hands,
language.
use your head,
Yes.
but your mouth, you're just supposed to speak gibberish.
This sounds like a very fun class.
Very fun, but we were not expecting it. That's what I'm saying. It caught us off guard because all of us are like, what is the use of this?
Yes.
But that day they were giving us training for physical humor. The other day they were teaching us how to focus on dialogue.
Yes.
You come late, they punish you by teaching you improv. You get, like, it was just training back to back.
Yes.
And Salvador and I understood each other, yet we were just going... Like you went
No,
through a
you guys
breakup.
must have been speaking northern language, but you guys totally...
I wish I had. Now that you mention it, I wish I had. But the rule was no comprehensible or established language.
Okay.
And that training is what gives us an edge in the industry. I could class of 09.
So you guys might have been communicating in Alur or Acholi. But the people think, this is not a comprehensive. There's no way this is comprehensive.
There's no way.
Yes.
but you know, most people don't even know the difference between North and West Nile.
Of course.
They think everything above what? Mbarara.
No, everything above Choga.
Everything above Choga is North.
Yes,
Everything
that's
above
north.
Choga and Mbuli.
Yes. And did Jon Snow come from your place? Because it was like
The
from...
North remembers.
The North remembers.
Winter
yes,
is coming.
Winter is
We
coming.
don't have winter,
But what
though.
winter?
So the training was just designed to build you into the best version of yourself that you could be. It wasn't just how to be funny.
Yes.
How to write material.
Yes.
Timekeeping was essential. branding was a big deal because they
Yes.
wanted us to be individuals.
Yeah.
So all of us got on that stage as a different person, but the whole time we're just watching each other like, I see you.
I see you. Yeah.
And I'd already picked out Salvador as my biggest competition.
Yes.
Because this man's aura is at like 1,000%.
So you went behind his ear and said, I see dead people.
Yes, I befriended him. Because I was not going to win a fight against him. I befriended him.
Yes.
Coming to find out later, he was also looking at me in the same way, and he was like, me and this guy need to be buddies.
Yes.
Because there's a greater scheme.
Was Cotilda part of the same class?
No, Cotilda joined when we came to Effendi's after the competition.
Yes.
But I saw a photo, no, not a footage. Go check the footage that Salvador posted on TikTok.
Yes.
Cotilda is in the audience. She was watching Stand Up
No
Uganda.
way.
Yes. Cotilda was in the audience watching Stand Up Uganda.
Interesting.
So, and Cotilda has one of the coolest stories. Please allow me to tell it.
Please.
So, we are on stage, like 9, 10 male comedians. We're trying to build the platform at Effendi's.
It's a sausage party.
Sausage party. Meat everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Beef also.
Yes.
So we have all kinds of comedians, from the funny guy with the guitar to
Yes.
the volatile ghetto guy,
Yes.
to me who's on my intellectual madness, to Salvador who's just high energy,
Yes.
to Alex who, by the way, is still one of the best performers to this day.
You had basically beefed up support.
We had beef because I was in charge of recruitment. So
Yes.
my job was to get as
All-
many
yes.
good talents as
Yes.
possible, to
Yes.
vet.
Yes.
And I was doing my job. And
So you're saying Alex is still the best performer?
not the best, but Alex is a very good performer. Because Alex has knowledge
I've
that most comedians
I've
lack.
actually never seen Alex perform.
Go
I think I've always seen Alex as a curator.
right now, he's more of a curator.
Yeah.
But watch his performance.
But even back in the day, he was usually like,
Oh, no.
oh yeah?
Muhanji.
Yes.
Muhanji has always been a performer.
Okay, I need to
Alex
go back
is one
and
of
revisit.
the funniest people you'll ever
But
meet.
do you know what's funny is the first time I recorded my third single,
Uh-huh.
Alex recorded it from
Fenon.
Yes.
And we put him in charge of production because he had experience with Fenon.
Yes.
So he took on the job, stage, all that stuff. Me, recruitment. Salvador,
Yeah.
networking. Sevachije, finance.
Yes.
Cotilda, we created a segment in the show where it was basically, if you think you're funny, step up on the stage and just do 2 minutes.
Nga, you're setting up people.
We are setting up people.
Yes.
I won't even lie. It was deliberate. Because people were like, this stuff is easy. I'm like, fall in. Cotilda raises her hand. After weeks of seeing people fail, this IT chick, I think she was like 19
Oh,
at
she's
the time.
an IT. Ama she has that look. It's like a office look. Eh?
Office vibe. Eh?
Office vibe. She's like
Yeah.
a secretary who is funny.
Yeah, it's like a dark-skinned Maya. Look at Maya from Blue 3 and look at Cotilda. They have the same facial structure.
Except that one is dark, the other
One
is
is
light.
dark, one is light, yeah. One dances, the
Same
other does
dad,
comedy.
different mom.
Like,
Yes,
it's complicated.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very, very complicated. The things, the issues of complexion are very complicated.
It's very complicated.
Yes.
So Cotilda gets on stage and disses all of us. Like, her set is about roasting
Yes.
the 10 guys who have been on stage.
Yes.
And she is cooking. The audience is laughing. Some guys are getting upset backstage. They're like, who does she think she is?
Yes.
But
Yes.
Salvador is looking at me. Salvador and Alex are looking at me because guys are like my older brothers. They're
Yes.
like, Danny,
This one here.
this one here.
Yes.
Like, I know you know your job, but
Yes.
just a reminder.
Recruit.
I'm like, well, not on day one. This could be a one-off.
Yes.
So we're going to need her to jump on again at some point.
Yes.
The next week, raises her hand again from the audience, gets on and does a set where she compares every performer on stage to a soccer club.
That's crazy. So,
like-
what team were you?
Me, what was I?
Were you Arsenal?
Nah, me as one of those teams of Bloomington.
Leicester?
Yeah, Leicester, something crazy like that. You know those teams you don't hear about, but the manager is very smart.
That's brilliant. That's
So,
brilliant.
She went in.
Yes,
and
yes.
The third week, I'm like, you know what? She's coming from backstage.
Yes.
And then she was the only chick to feature on the Kings of Comedy lineup.
Yes.
Cotilda went from 0 to established in about 4 weeks.
0 to 100.
0 to 100.
She's still one of my favorite Ugandan comedians, by
First
the way.
female stand-up comedian. She formed Queens of Comedy, amazing at
Yes,
mentorship and stuff. You know, it's one of the greatest stories. I like telling that story.
It's an amazing story. Did you watch Marvelous Miss Maisel?
Yes, I did.
So that's our Marvelous Miss Maisel.
That's our Marvelous Miss
right
Maisel.
There,
and Miss Maisel, by the way, has a very unique body. I won't lie. She does.
How?
She does.
How did you see it? She's wearing like dresses from like 60s or 70s.
There were parts where she was walking around in underwear, swimming costume, bichi.
I never saw any of that. I'm a married man.
Hey, please stay there. Me, who is on my own plot.
Yeah.
Woo, Miss Maisel. Yeah.
We should call Omar Johnson, Dr. Omar Johnson, for this gentleman.
I beg your pardon. But yeah, so we started a platform.
Yes.
And then shout outs to Owaraga. James Owaraga.
Do you know that name has always sounded like, I don't think anybody should be given that name if they don't have character. Every Owaraga I've met has like a lot of depth.
A lot of depth, and they have established, like, they have
like
purpose
the whole
in a lot of
name
people's
is
lives.
Owaraga. You're like, how can you be a weak Owaraga?
You cannot.
You can't.
It would also be a very nice name for a brand of alcohol. I would buy it.
Me too. I would buy an Owaraga.
Drink Owaraga.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's like
mornings.
drink our lager.
Yeah.
Owaraga.
Owaraga.
Yes.
That kind of vibe.
Yes.
This guy gave us mic check. By the time we walked into his office, he had already thought of the theme song. He had a name for the show. He had put together a
How
crew.
does Owaraga come into the story?
He was station manager of NTV.
Oh, so, okay. He was already station manager NTV.
Yes.
Okay.
And here we are struggling.
And where are you holding this? Because I know Effendi's was the
Effendi's.
first. Crackers was Effendi's?
Crackers was Effendi's, yes.
Crackers was Effendi's. So you moved to
La Bonita.
La Bonita, which is...
It was still Crackers.
It was still Crackers, but Microphone Check was the name of the
Yeah,
show.
Mike Check had been the show from Effendi's.
Yeah.
But now it had blown up. Look, Mike Check hit TV,
Yes.
and Effendi's became too small within like a month.
Yeah, we used to go there after our shows.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So this guy had just also become famous.
I had become famous.
And all of us are like, who is this new guy? And other rappers would
Very
look at us.
handsome, very handsome.
Other rappers would look
Don't-
at us
Don't
like-
forget that he was very handsome by
I
then.
can't say that as a okay, yes.
Why are you gay?
Fine. I knew you were trying to trap me.
Yes,
But
please.
yeah. So GNL is hitting. He has just hit us with Soda Jinjale.
Yes.
And the song was going crazy. We saw you accept a booty call on social media, though.
No way.
In the comment section.
I did?
Yeah. But that was a one-off.
What did I say?
Eh? Chick was like, yo, me, if I ever find you a thing, yeah, I'm going to join you. And you're like, yeah, come through.
I gave that the name and the address.
No.
Yes.
I'm sure that went down in the DM.
Nah.
She became your friend after that comment.
I usually just like, I'm very courteous with my fans.
Hey, me, I'm not judging. You are single.
No.
So, things. So, GNL has just hit the industry.
Yes.
He's a big deal. We have also just entered the industry. So, we're looking at him like, who's this new rapper? And everyone's looking at us like, new?
Yeah.
New.
This guy has been struggling.
This guy has been thingy. Then they showed me that
Yes,
video,
yes.
Oh, Mother Africa, brother, where you are rapping next to a coaster.
Yes.
Yeah. And you quarreled through the whole song. I was like,
Yes. Lyrics.
This man
my
is
brother.
annoyed in
Lyrics,
Uganda.
my brother. Yes.
I was like, he has been around that. Because we were new.
Yes.
We literally stepped out of whatever job we were doing,
Yeah.
went for an audition, went through a competition, and now we are the only guys doing what we are doing.
Yes.
Hip-hop wasn't the same, man. Hip-hop,
Yeah.
you could be in the game for 10 years and nobody knows you.
No, there are guys who are like, there's a poem I've just written about the industry, and it's about this 20-year-old. The guy has been an upcoming artist for the last 20 years.
Viboyo.
Oh my God. What you going
I haven't said anything. This is just the running joke.
Oh my God.
I don't even have anything against him. I just
No. Okay, this poem is not about that at all.
I know.
Well,
I
I'm
know.
just talking about like someone who's fictional. Nga about demo industry for like about 20 years. Nga talina yo hit. Takulanga yo wadde akakadde. Yet he keeps telling his woman like, yo, one day. Yeah, like you see all these motivational speakers keep telling people, never quit. You get me? So, and even like there's so many drawings and illustrations that show you the last axe could have cracked that stone.
Yes.
And then you're on the goal. Then you quit.
You quit last
You get me?
minute.
So it's a trap. I'm talking about that. In the poem, I'm talking about that trap of the industry where you're supposed to go do something else. Maybe you're supposed to call it quits, like. But there's also these motivational speakers telling you to bet on yourself. And, like the next one could be it. So, but you're like going towards your 40s, man. Like, what? right?
Yeah.
So, I'll play it for you.
Please, I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
So, us meeting you,
yes,
like you coming through for comedy night,
yes,
and then saying like, yo, let me get on stage and just say something. We were like, yo, we didn't know we are these people. Are we that important to society that GNL Zamba, bread and butter, those things you used to say
in the crowd.
He's in the crowd.
Yes.
And he has showed up backstage. Munji.
Yes.
All those guys would show up and be like, yo, I have a show next week. Let me just holler at guys on the stage for a bit. And we're like, yes, why are you asking? Just jump on and do the damn thing, man. Because at the time, people don't know. Entrance was a glass of wine.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
You buy a glass of wine.
Yes.
You come in and watch comedy.
Yes.
So we were paying people.
Which was a very good trick because you're already getting people loose. So for your jokes to just like slide through.
It works for the jokes, but financially, you guy, we were going home broke. But
No
because
way.
Salvador and I were in the top 3.
Yeah.
Right? And we had won like $2,000 each. We were the ones funding transportation for the comedians we had recruited. And the beauty is, Meli, shout outs to Meli.
Yes.
The owner of Effendis at the time, cool Turkish guy.
Yes.
He was paying
I remember him too.
Yeah. He was paying for the posters. We didn't have to pay for rent.
Yes.
Sometimes the drinks were on the house if you needed to drink.
Yes.
And he took care of us. He made sure that show grew.
I don't think he even knows that he contributed to the comedy scene, it's like all of you guys are now superstars. You're creative director now of like, I don't know how many projects. You're writing left, right, and center all over Africa. All of you from that class of 09 are amazing people. Salvador is touring, he's on Africa Laughs,
Yeah.
He's having deals all over Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, here and there.
Alex has the biggest platform.
Alex has the biggest platform in Kampala.
Possibly Uganda, by the way.
I think besides Omondi in East Africa, who else?
As in, who are featured
platform.
on his...
I'm talking about platform. Besides the size of platform. Besides Omondi, who else has a bigger platform in East Africa?
Besides Omondi?
Yeah.
Wait, Omondi doesn't even have a platform. Omondi is a performer.
So now there we have it. Then we have the biggest platform in East Africa with a guy from your era.
Oh, if you're comparing it to Churchill, I see what you mean. Because I don't know if Churchill is still active.
Yeah.
But yeah, Comedy Store is massive. And everyone has gone on to just focus on what they, they were good at. And good times, man.
My only criticism is that it's still a sausage party. There's still so many sausages.
Look.
Where are the female voices? Besides Anne Kansime, who's a legend and a queen.
There's Akite Agnes, there's Maggie the Boiserian.
Okay, I haven't been here for some time. Don't beat them in my face now.
No, relax. They are not more than... Tindi Vero.
Oh, Tindi, yes.
Fun factory issues.
Tindi, Twina history, not Tindi.
What did you do?
We didn't do anything.
No, not we. What did you do? I'm curious.
I think the very first play I saw, not the very first play I saw in my life, but the very first play I saw in high school. Tindi was a genie. She was a genie. She was really small. And she would say, Bashu Bazak. That was the word in the play. And we were in high school. So whenever they used to have plays at the National Theatre, they used to use our school as the training ground for them to do the final rehearsal before they would do their thing. Yeah.
Tindi as a genie?
She was a genie.
I would love to rub her lamp.
Funny. It was...
What? She's beautiful.
She has 2 lamps.
Not lump.
Her lady lamps.
Lamp.
Her lady lamps.
Quick. The one with the candle. Turn over.
She has 2 lamps, so you can get 6 wishes.
We're getting cancelled.
Ladies and gentlemen. But this is strictly for entertainment value.
Yes.
So
Tindi...
Shout out to you, Tindi, by the way.
Tindi, well done.
Yes.
So with the females, and this is something I've experienced in mentorship.
Yes.
It's very hard mentoring female comedians.
What's hard?
They quit for the most random reasons. You well, not me, but
Yes, I know how hard it is. Yes.
it is hard.
Please tell us how hard it is.
And me, I have no problem because Cotilda was my first student.
Okay.
I swear, you people. So anyway, Cotilda was my first student, and Akite Agnes is one of the people I recruited into Comedy Files.
Yes.
But through the Queens of Comedy platform, because a lot of females are more comfortable being mentored by a fellow woman. Mm-hmm. That's why Kansime went under Cotilda's mentorship to learn stand-up.
Rightfully so, with all these issues of like all these honey men,
Yes.
you know, like the industry is like, women.
It happens.
Women are better, I think, mentored by
I genuinely don't judge.
by other women.
But at the same time, my issue was a lot of female comedians quit for the most random reasons.
What's the random reason? Like giving birth.
I met a guy. Giving birth is not random. Giving birth is a whole change of lifestyle.
But you know, in Africa, it's still a thing. Like so many talented people just disappear after like becoming pregnant. Like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, I get it. It's a very big change. It's a very, very big change. And babies are very demanding, right?
Very, yeah.
But the talent that we have lost out of, she hasn't come back from taking care of this baby. Take a break for 2-3 years.
Yeah, like Cotilda did.
Yeah. Take a break for 2-3 years. You can
2-3,
even take
raise the
another
baby.
job where you're like writing for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like all these female, like very talented female comedians that we have lost, and not because they are dead,
They're around.
but because they are having someone's baby. And I understand also that we are still very conservative as a society. That you might find that some people's husbands are not comfortable with seeing their women on stage.
But
As
here's the
simple as
thing,
that.
though. Here's the thing. If so I had a female comedian who quit because
Yeah, it was hard.
she met a guy.
Yes.
She met a guy, and they start dating, and he tells her, "I don't like you doing comedy." So she's quitting because this guy said he doesn't like her doing comedy.
Loser.
But here's the funny thing. Guess where they met?
Where?
Comedy night. This guy was in the audience watching her perform.
Those are insecure men. If you meet any man who doesn't like you for you, let me tell you, girls, whether you're a rapper, singer, painter,
Lol.
like, see,
Me, I'm
role
just laughing
model.
at you. Eh?
Like you can't find a loser in the who tells you that I can't like you because you're in the spotlight. Those are insecure men. They believe that their power comes out of being over you, towering over you. They're intimidated by your power, basically.
If you married someone
Yeah.
and then they started doing something,
Yes.
that's a different scenario. But
Yeah.
if you met someone through what they were doing and then now your objective is to stop them
You
from
should
doing
actually support them.
it, you should support them because
Yes,
that's
yes.
literally how you met. But a chick is like, no, comedy is not for me anymore. My man doesn't like it. And in my head, I'm losing my mind. I'm like,
And then you look at the command.
man, there's also that.
The command leaves a lot to be desired.
You know those guys who have yellow eyes for no reason.
Oh my God! I say you kwashako.
Hey, but now I was thinking more yellow fever, but okay.
Okay.
But no,
Yeah.
it wasn't even that. No matter how put together you are as a man,
Yeah.
right? But you're saying, I met you doing comedy, now I want you to stop doing
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah.
Because I am not comfortable with it. But you are comfortable enough to show up for the show
Yes.
and watch me perform.
Exactly.
So in my head, I'm thinking, because mentorship is painful. Because you lose more talents.
you have invested years in this person.
Yes.
You get me? Like you thinking you're heading somewhere on the journey.
3 years of branding, marketing, promotion, and content development.
Yes.
And someone just flashes it. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad person because you chose something to do, right?
She's in love.
She's in love.
Yes.
Good for her. But I'm not going to let you back in. Like if things
I
don't...
tell you, a very cruel parent.
I'm not cruel.
Yes.
You made a decision. Now I have to focus on the people who have stayed. Because energy has a limit, man.
Yes.
I can't... I'm not Jesus. I'm chasing the sheep that got away. Now I'm staying with the herd, man.
Judith, huh?
Yeah. I'm staying with the herd. I'm like, this
It's really hard. It's hard. I know it's hard.
Okay, you spread the word.
Spread the word.
Even Judith heard.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
If you don't put that in your next song,
Hey.
I'm going to pour
No,
this
I already
coffee
put
on
her in my whatever. I was like, Zito wange njovutana mumwe ukanga Judith had.
you.
Because she's the model, she's light.
She's fine.
And then she hit me up. She's like, "Gwe, G, we need to talk." Yes, so shout out to Judith Hard.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
there we go.
Homegirl quits the industry.
Yes.
And you keep hearing things like, I'm just not feeling it anymore.
Yes.
And I've noticed a lot of guys use comedy as an avenue to go do the things they actually want to do.
Like to meet guys.
Yeah, to network, right? But the first thing he has to learn is how to think, because I've trained MCs, I've trained comedians, I've trained actors, I've trained performers.
So you're a pimp, basically.
Pretty much. But, I don't charge a fee for my services.
Okay.
It's free because we needed to build the industry.
Backhands.
Right? No, I just want to see people succeed.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if I don't have competition, then what am I here for?
Yes.
I need to get better. And seeing
you just
someone,
want to see people succeed.
I want to see someone succeed.
Yes.
You suck. And we go all in. And the difference is, a lot of female comedians use comedy as an avenue to meet a partner.
I won't blame them because there was a time I was at a church and the pastor was telling all these women, like, we're having fewer and fewer weddings at this church. Like, this is the well. Look at all these gentlemen. Like, this is the well. Like, this is the well where you should... Like,
Drop your bucket.
traditionally, people used to meet each other at, like, the village well. Right? And they would jazz vibe. So, like, treat this as the modern well. Like, you guys should just meet here. Kwegamba, he encouraged them to kwekwana, basically.
Yeah, in the church.
Yeah.
Use the gospel.
How?
In the beginning, there was a darkness. Then I found you, my light-skinned woman. In the beginning...
I'm not endorsing this. My brother.
But you get the idea.
Yeah, I get the idea.
Guys use comedy to network and get into circles to do what they want to do. A lot of comedians have turned into MCs. A lot of comedians have gone into acting.
Yes.
But they started in stand-up. Some even into music.
Yes.
Right?
Why do they call it stand-up?
Because, man, you literally have to be standing. The stool is just for illustration and for the microphone to sit on when it's not being used.
Okay.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if your legs are tired, you sit a bit. But you notice the stool is high enough to keep you the same height as if you were standing.
Yeah. Who are your top 5 stand-up comedians?
In Uganda or generally?
Let's do 5 Uganda, 5 America, 5 globally.
5 globally.
Let's start with 5 globally and then Uganda. We go to UG.
Okay, so for me, Chris Rock.
Because save the best for last.
Yeah. Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. Wanda Sykes.
Yeah,
I love Wanda. I like Wanda. She's different. She has that old game vibe. The Nina Conti.
I don't know. I don't think I know who that is.
She's a ventriloquist.
So really, Aina Pet.
But a human ventriloquist. So what she does, which is different from Jeff Dunham.
I mean, not Aina Pet. Aina Chigundi, just Chidole.
No, she has a mouthpiece. So she attaches it to the head of an audience member.
Yes.
And stands with them on stage.
Yes.
And then uses like a pump to operate the mouth.
Yes.
And makes you say things that you're actually not saying.
Oh, okay.
You need to watch Nina Conti. I think it's like
Nina Conti.
Okay. She's
I need to check her out.
A whole different kind of vibe.
Yes.
And I think...
where is she from?
She's either Australian.
Yeah.
I think she's Australian. I think.
Okay.
Me, I don't care for borders, just skin color.
I believe in a world with no borders, one love, one world, no borders.
We are getting cancelled.
You're going to be in hot water with Dr. Uma Johnson tomorrow.
Yeah,
There's no bunny crisis.
Catch me outside. How about that? And then finally, Clint the Drunk.
Yes, Ghana.
Because
the Ghanaian,
people have no idea.
Yes.
That guy's improv game is insane. I saw that guy perform for 40 minutes at Pablo Live.
Yes.
And the audience kept telling him, do the reggae joke. The guy's like, first wait. Picks on an audience member. He just kept going. And then he did the reggae joke in the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
But the entire show, he was killing it on improv. Barefooted.
Yes.
Pants pulled up on one side,
and
looking drunk.
The hair disorganized, looking like a village drunk.
He doesn't drink, by the way.
Clint the drunk doesn't drink.
Clint the drunk doesn't drink. I met him at Pablo Live in 2013. We talked, and that guy was going through my material. He doesn't drink.
That's crazy. If Clint the Drunk doesn't drink,
It's all a character you play.
he's really good at it.
He's very good at
So
it.
that's your top 5.
That's my top 5
We
international.
had Chris Rock, we had Dave Chappelle,
Dave Chappelle,
you said
Wanda
Wanda
Sykes,
Sykes,
Nina Conti,
Nina Conti,
Clint the Drunk.
Clint the Drunk. That's a very good list.
a solid
Trevor Noah is not on your list.
Not yet.
He's number 7, 6.
Maybe 8. I have maximum respect for Trevor Noah. I think he's really amazing comedian.
Yes.
It's just for me, there are people I grew with, people I grew up with,
Yes, I agree with.
and they are still keeping it together.
Yes,
Because,
yes.
man, if you've been in comedy for 30 years and you're still funny,
You haven't been in comedy for 30 years.
No.
Okay, I know you were born in 68. But
yes, I've been around. But
did you see that clip of Kevin Hart and Don Cheadle?
Damn! The vibe. Don't you know? That's the saddest.
That never happens.
Man, that guy destroyed War Machine. But yeah, Wanda Sykes.
The person who had the best comeback was Sofia Vergara. She got him. She got Kevin
him
Hart.
back,
Yeah. You're saying me, Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes is like old money.
Yeah.
I've seen her. You know, watching a female comedian who doesn't revert to sex,
Unless she's.
and even when she does, she handles it.
Do you think?
In a very
Do
unique
you
way.
think sex is a hack when people use sex in comedy? Is it like a cheat code? Like there's this other woman. My wife loves. I don't know why I'm snitching on my woman. There's this woman who is Chinese, Japanese. What's her name? Don't know who did a special when
She was
pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. The one who ended her punchline with, "I don't want to work anymore." I keep forgetting her name.
But she has a new special which is literally about her divorce and how many guys she has gone through.
Yes. So,
What's your opinion on because sex is easy? I think sex is easy.
sex is easy for liberal audiences.
Not Republicans.
No, even for Republicans, sex is easy. I think most times people have trouble distinguishing between a sex joke and a dirty joke.
Explain.
You can get away with a sex joke in the church.
Please explain.
So, you remember how Ugandans tried to cancel Radio and Weasel for being on the Tubonga Nawe song
Yes.
in 2016?
Yes.
And,
I refuse that money.
man, I understand.
Nayanga.
Yeah, the people who took it, it's on them.
Yes.
And I was telling guys, Ugandans don't understand cancel culture.
Yeah.
You do not. Because you're going to say we've cancelled Radio and Weasel. But we all know you're not going to stop listening to their music.
Yes.
Like, imagine yourself in a premium moment, so heated that you have to keep the windows open to let the breeze in. You and your partner for life. In a moment so intense that even the gods think it's a dream.
Can we use another example?
Not you in particular.
Okay,
I'm saying
okay.
You and your partner, you
Yes.
who's watching.
Yes, you who is watching,
Yeah, you who's
yes.
watching. You and your partner. In a moment so intense that even the gods think it's a dream. And then you hear Tujikole Nera.
Nera, 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 nera.
Then the other, you get that vibe? Are you going to get off your partner and be like, is that Radio and Weasel?
I've cancelled.
Where are my trousers? Damn it, I can't do this with you.
Yes,
No.
I see what you're saying.
And I did that joke in church.
Yeah.
I did it in church.
What church is this? Because church the baba ya yenda kuzino
Worship
kaiwa.
Harvest.
Okay.
I did it in
That's a
Worship Harvest.
respectable church.
But here's the thing. I was talking about sex.
Yes.
But the moment I put it into the context of marriage, the audience clapped. Because they understood. You have to understand the crowd
Because
you're working
sex
with.
is ordained by God in marriage.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know the audience you're working with. In a bar, I would have used something different. But now, there's the nasty jokes.
Give me one.
You can
No,
do it.
please don't. Please don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know-
okay. Yeah.
We don't want to get cancelled out here.
Okay, but you know those guys who-
maybe Uganda spells cancel with a different spelling. There's C-A, then there's C-O-U.
C-O-U-N-S.
Ngaya cancel.
Yes. But you've had those nasty jokes. I was banging her like this, boom, boom, boom.
I
boom.
don't find
Then
that
I
stuff
changed the
funny.
position.
I don't find that stuff funny.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's dirty. I was raised different. Yeah.
You can do it. There's a difference between a sex joke
Ew.
and a dirty joke.
Ew.
Sex
Ew.
can be
Ew.
beautiful.
Ew.
Yeah. The same way, tribal humor
Yeah.
is something I always laugh when Ugandans are like, you guys need to stop talking about tribes. I'm like, that's what we are. It's like telling...
we're 62 tribes in a very, very small country.
Yes.
Like there's no way, you can't get around it.
And the stereotypes are funny.
Very funny.
That's like going to America and telling them, you can't talk about race anymore. Dude, be serious. What you can say is, I think what Uganda needs is an advocacy for a higher quality of tribal humor. Because right now, it's when a Muganda gasses, it sounds like this. When a Musoga gasses, then you're... And I'm like, that's dumb. What the hell are you doing?
I don't think even Baganda gas. That's not true.
Do they, though?
They don't.
Okay,
They don't.
I'm not sure.
They
They nyamp. I don't know.
They don't. They just like
okay.
they like
So-
they let stuff out. They don't gas.
As you're sitting now, it's sealed.
Signed, sealed. But if it gets delivered,
Me, I'll click return to sender. But that's the thing. We need a better quality of tribal humor.
yes.
When you say you guys should stop talking about tribes, you're limiting the number of topics in a country where the topics are already limited.
Yes, and also I think our wealth is in exploration of all this beauty.
Yes.
And in appreciation of it. Though I know it's like a conundrum. I don't know how comedians explore that, right? Because it's like very, very touchy feelings. But I think the people who have succeeded are the ones who distribute it evenly. But I've seen that people always pick on. There was a time when I really felt bad for the Basoga.
Man.
The Basoga jokes were so many, and I'm like, how are we getting away with comedy where everybody picks on this tribe? So, and then the Basoga are the most innovative.
I don't
very
know.
strong. The women that come from Busoga in this country have contributed like, I don't know. The strongest women, some of the strongest women in this country are from Busoga.
I
People
don't
don't
even
know that.
dispute that. For
Yeah.
me, whether it's factual
The men
or
is
not,
another factor.
it's a different one.
Will come
Whether
for
it's
you.
true or not, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we have Maro, we have Play One,
No,
we
I'm
have Kadaga, we
playing.
have...
I'm actually playing with them too.
Yeah, I know. We're messing with
Play
them.
One is from Busoga.
Yeah,
Emusade bamwetachi.
proper. Chisubi.
Chisubi.
Yeah.
Hey, you were Chisubi.
Yeah, but Play One is an example of what happens when you send Musoga abroad. They come back on savage mode. As that guy's bars.
He changed, eh?
Me, I fear. He did change. He improved.
Yaja Italy.
He grew.
He went to Italy.
Okay, South Africa and Germany, but...
That's not out.
That's out.
That's I
abroad.
don't much India now.
Next door, eh?
That's here.
Me, sometimes I feel sorry for the Basoga,
Yeah.
genuinely. Because
Yeah.
you could stand on stage and say, Musoga walked into a bar and the audience starts laughing.
You see?
You haven't said anything yet.
You see how I was telling you that Chris Rock's jokes are like that? That they fall in that box of he has been bullying people that sometimes it's just like, you're like, not another joke about the, you know?
If you're the one being joked about, it's bullying. If you're the one laughing, then it's cool until it's your turn. But there's a joke I had.
That's the same thing about racial humor too. Like,
Yeah.
you can crack so many jokes about black people, and black people nowadays crack so many jokes about white people. Like, there are black comedians who walk and their first word is, "Look at how many white people are in the front row." Like,
Yes.
Like up to now, like I understand, like during like what was the name, big hair, legendary comedian, light skinned.
Richard Pryor?
Richard Pryor, like Richard Pryor era, that would be surprising. But right now, I think people are like so racially integrated.
It should
like,
be
why is that
normalized.
still a joke?
Yeah.
Like look at how many white people are in the front row. Yes, definitely, this is a country that has like so many people of different shades and colors. Like,
I'm going to give you a series of jokes.
yes, please.
That have been told in Uganda that would get you cancelled in any other country.
Cancel, COU.
CA,
Bakuteka ku cancel.
the firing squad.
Eh?
They kill you.
I mean style.
That are, yes,
Yes.
jokes that have passed. But it was based on the occurrences in the region.
Yes.
So you remember when there was a Giga infestation
Here we go.
in 2009, right?
I remember that.
This wasn't even my joke. Me, I'm just telling the story. I don't even work here. So there was a jigger infestation, and this guy called Makanga Chizito gets on stage and says, "Yo, you guys, man, so guys suffering. I feel really bad for them. It has gotten so intense that now they are measuring shoe size in gigabytes."
What's my motherfucking name?
Jigga.
And I'm rolling with her.
You see what I mean?
Sibidi Moons.
No, but there are funny jokes regardless of what the situation is. Like, was it Muhanji who did a joke about nodding disease?
But a jigger infestation, was it 2000 something?
Yeah, 2009.
Like, come on, we had to laugh at that. This is right here, one of the most industrial towns in Uganda. How can you have a jigger infestation?
I'll tell you how we got into trouble for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Alex did a joke about a nodding disease. And now for him, he thought Northerners were just happy to be doing business with him. Kumbe, they were nodding without...
So Nordic countries are not in the Northern Europe?
This guy's like, so sign this contract. Yeah. Saying, are you sure you want to perform?
Yeah.
So you're accepting our business. And so I did a joke about Teso region that got me into trouble. They were going through a famine.
Yes.
And I said,
come on, don't joke about famine.
Every topic.
There's no topic
there's no topic off board. So this is what people don't understand about comedians. The joke hits you and you're like, should I not? Comedy is about letting your intrusive thoughts win. Most of the time.
I need to note that down.
So I tell them, look, guys, I think the famine in Teso was caused because these guys brewed everything. You all drink too much. Because I've seen Iteso show up at a funeral service holding gourds of pombe.
Guys, the podcast has ended here. The podcast has officially ended here.
No, they gave those guys rice, they brewed it. They gave them matoke, they brewed it. They gave them posho, they brewed that shit. Then the famine started, they sent them blankets, and the Itesos were asking, does it ferment? These guys were ready to drink the blanket. And some guy got so mad, he's like, do you know how many people died during the famine?
Yes.
You understand? If you're coming to Teso region, I'm going to beat you up. I'm like, but you laughed at the war in northern Uganda, though.
Yes.
Now, if we're going to laugh at the war in northern Uganda, but you draw the line at Jedah's hair.
I see.
That's premium hypocrisy. I'm like, bruv.
Yes.
More people died. Jeddah is going to live.
But she's suffering in her, and she's a woman.
Bambi, sorry. I understand.
Yes.
We are all suffering.
Yes.
Yeah. Even me, sometimes I get blue balls. These things happen. But here's the thing.
Yes.
If you're going to personalize every experience that happens, I draw the line at things like cancer, by the way. Because I have a friend who lost a parent to cancer. I've lost people to cancer. So I don't do jokes about cancer. But I would never come out and say, nobody else is supposed to do jokes about cancer because it hurts my feelings. I'm like,
so you personally make a choice, but you can't tell other people not to.
You can't impose.
Yes.
But that's what people keep trying to do nowadays. Yeah, I want to impose the range that you're allowed to have. Bizonto got arrested for stating facts.
But Bizonto had become too political, I think.
Well, politics is a topic, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, so why can't we talk about it? Because people say, you guys only talk about tribes, you only talk about sex. Your topics are limited. Yeah, but if you guys are getting arrested for talking about politics, you really think I want to be in jail for? I'm going to avoid it.
Yes.
I'm going to try and be slick about it. So already there's a limitation to the topics we can address as comedians.
Yeah, and actually, comedians I think thrive better when there's no topic off the table.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, just set a guy free. Let a bull loose in a China shop. For all you know, you could get new plates. It doesn't always have to be destructive.
You might discover the plates that don't break.
You see?
You're testing the workmanship of every piece of China.
The quality of your own stock.
Yes.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Let people talk. Me, I always say this, right? The reason I have a problem with cancel culture, for example, and restrictions is because if you don't let people express themselves, you'll never know who you're dealing with.
That's true.
You
you limit the flow of ideas when you let everything get so confined.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think comedy is catharsis, where you like school fees. Catharsis.
School fees.
Catharsis.
Big word.
School fees.
Throw it in there. Yeah. Sips coffee.
Sila bezo. Satu.
Now you're just showing off the bling bling.
I know.
Okay. I
okay.
got you that.
Okay.
Leave it on. It's okay. That one is for beating
Sila
people.
bezo. Let's say it. Yeah, because it's a way of actually like really looking at your society through other people's eyes. I learn a lot about places by just listening to comedians from that region. You get me? Yeah.
Yeah, and just hearing people talk. And for me, I use it as to gauge personality.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of person are you? An asshole? Because if someone gets on stage and all their jokes are about bachope, they have no joke about a certain
isn't it
tribe.
wrong to say that? Is there a tribe called Bachope though?
There's no tribe called bachope. I don't know what's wrong with Baganda. We found the nicest names
It
for you
isn't the
guys.
Baganda who'd say that.
Okay.
I don't think Baganda give names to other people. By the
We have a name for the Baganda.
I know you do, but to be fair, right? The Baganda were the only tribe that did not refuse anybody from entering and
we
settling
appreciate
here.
that,
No,
yes.
I'm not saying that you even have to appreciate it, but I'm just saying, like, facts. The only jokes I know are about how you guys used to treat our flying. You have a name for the Baganda. I would love to hear this.
We have a name for the Baganda. That's why I don't understand why when some of the Luganda-speaking comedians get on stage and call us bachope.
Bachope is
I'm
not
confused.
a tribe. I don't know why people say Bachope is a
That's what I
tribe.
also
Bachope
don't-
is not a tribe.
Bachope is like a region,
Yeah.
but that's the name a lot of the
There's a region called Bachope.
There's a place called Bachope, and it comes from the word chope, as in there were no men in that place.
What?
Yeah.
Like
But
Shina,
it's not a tribe, like what? Shina. Oh yeah, the
Queen of the Jungle.
Queen
There
of
was a
the
place
jungle.
where there were no men.
Chiku used to salute elephants, and they would be like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Tamjuju. But we need to call Princess Bagaya here to explain to us what that was.
Princess Bagaya, legend. But yes, so we have the whole Bachope thing. Yet for us, the name we have for Baganda in my language now is Anam.
Anam, what does that mean?
Nam means river or water body. So
The
Anam.
Baganda water body.
Yeah, you guys live
River.
around.
Oh, yes,
There's
yes,
a reason
yes,
you
yes.
call the Interlacustrine tribe. You
Yes.
live around the lake.
Yes.
And you're basically surrounded by water, which is ironic because Westerners have more of it in them. But you get the point I'm trying to make, right?
But there's having water, then there's being waterlogged.
Then there's being around water.
Then there's being around water.
Like,
Those are three categories here we're discussing.
let me tell you how crazy the water is in Western Uganda. Those guys literally named the river Ruizi. Ruizi means water. They called it river water. Like, they're just trying to emphasize the point. And I'm like, well, good on you, man.
Yeah,
Well
like,
done.
first we call it stream.
In Luganda.
Water.
Sturimu. Yeah. So,
Sulo.
so yeah, we had that whole thing where you have a respectful name for another tribe, but someone chooses the most disrespectful.
I see
name
what you're saying.
For yours.
I see what you're
You
saying.
get.
But I would like to tell you that from my observations, because for me, I'm a man who comes from like very many places. I belong to the Central, but then all these other tribes have contributed to my blood. They're like, I have like a whole. Basically, if you're looking for the most quintessential Ugandan, I belong to the north, I belong to the east, I belong to the west, I belong to the southwest.
Yeah, you received a lot of blood donations.
Which they get like look at this. Look at the genes. Like, the best of all worlds.
Gucci.
It's like the best of all worlds is in me. It runs in me. Like it's there.
It's there.
But I understand the unfairness of Simanya. You gave us the name of like Intercastian people, and then people said Bachope.
But Abalugwara.
I know, but the look bara exists, but it's not like a whole. That's like calling the Chinese, like everybody from Korea, Japan, Chinese.
Yeah, well, like, hey, educate thyself.
I get that, but do you know who usually makes those mistakes? Because I've also observed, because from like being from everywhere, it's the people who are not Baganda who give themselves Baganda names.
How?
You haven't seen people who are not Baganda, but they have like a Chiganda name, and you're like, bruh, you're not Senyojo. You know how they say Baganda thieves? And then they net the guy, and the guy has a Western accent, but he's saying he's Chizito.
Chizito, yeah.
You get me? So we have got a bad reputation, but those things are not like
Yeah, I found an interesting
inherent.
way. Yeah,
Yes.
I found an interesting way in comedy to make sure that
Because, yeah.
you can be offensive and respectful at the same time with tribal humor. Like you just said, they say Baganda are thieves, right?
And some are.
So some are. I mean, there are thieves in every
Not
tradition.
all. Every tradition has thieves.
Yes, every
Otherwise,
tribe,
there
every
wouldn't be a
culture.
word to describe. Get me,
It is a
yeah.
genuine word. In our language, you call them a kuo. Kuo, like the thief. Someone just takes stuff randomly, right?
Yes.
So it's I told a joke once.
Okay,
And I'm
let
like,
me test your school fees.
Yes.
Please, before we go to the joke, let me test your school fees. I'm going to give you 2 words. Both of them mean like serial thief, which is the correct one. We're also testing your ODS members.
Don't fall for it.
Hypochondriac, kleptomaniac.
Kleptomaniac.
School fees.
Yeah, literature teacher of literature, lit. We lit.
School fees.
Literature.
Snap.
Yeah.
You're telling me about this
You're going to
story.
catch me on vocabulary.
Hey,
Mr.
I'm
Zamba.
going to catch you.
I know where you live. I'm literally in your
I'm
basement.
going to catch you properly. Yes.
You can try.
Yeah.
So I did a joke about how Northerners are askaris.
Yes.
And the whole audience bursts out laughing. I'm like, you can walk up to any Luo and ask them, how is Okelo? Because every Northerner has a relative called Okelo. Get straight from Lao to Acholi.
Yes.
Sometimes...
Ever since we talked about hunger, our cameraman is the hunger in Teso.
Man, homeboy is not talking.
He's not talking.
He brewed his lunch.
Yes.
So we're there chilling and I'm telling them, walk up to any Northerner and ask them, how is
Yes.
Okelo? That's the conversation start. Okelo tia bero le in kono like this thing.
That's cousin.
Goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because security is our thing. We're so good at it, you can even walk up to the guy at your gate or your entrance and just fire the question. Now, to contrast the joke I did about the Northerners, because I talked about the whole thing of being dark-skinned, which makes us very effective at night.
Yes.
Like you show up to rob a place.
Camouflage.
You think you're
Yes.
you're alone in the compound and you just hear someone saying Jial. Out of the blue, right? Now, to contrast that joke, I said, and it's another little non-interesting stereotype that Baganda are thieves. And the audience goes quiet. And I looked at them and told them straight up, I'm like, listen, if you laughed at the part about Northerners being askaris,
You need to laugh.
and you're not laughing at this
Yes,
bit, you're freaking tribalist.
Yes.
And they had to, because I was like, I set you up so well, you didn't even see it coming. You get? But the idea behind it was, I was trying to pitch a relationship between Northerners and Baganda, how we have a very good symbiotic relationship.
Of course.
If Northerners are askaris, the Baganda are thieves. It means Baganda are providing employment opportunities for the Northerners. While at the same time,
This is wrong
the
on
Northerners are
so
protecting
many
property.
levels. I'm not going to allow you to slander people from the north and people from the central.
but if you do what? People are going to get offended on both sides, which is good. It means none of you should be offended.
That means you've started a war.
My philosophy is very simple.
Yes.
If each of you is going to tell me what not to talk about, eventually you're going to agree on something that we should talk about.
Yes.
It's like the Baganda will say, don't talk about my Kabaka. The Westerners will say, leave my president alone.
Yes.
Basoga will say, my
And why did you
Chabazinga.
say Kabaka and then you didn't say Mugabe?
I was looking for the word, but things are several. But yeah, so every person has someone you're not supposed to talk about in their life.
Yes.
Now, if each of you has a problem with me talking about the person you consider royalty in your kingdom,
Yes.
then I'm going to talk about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Because the idea is this.
There's a tribe which has a king who doesn't cross River Nile.
I'm trying to remember which one that is. Because there's Northerners, you have to cross River Nile.
No, there's the king. Others can cross. You have a copy.
You
Bakopi can
another
cross.
one. Bakopi.
You, the Bakopi, can cross, but the king is not supposed to. He's supposed to go the other way around. He's supposed to go to Egypt, pass through Suez Canal, and come back down.
Just like that thing in Mengo.
Yeah?
That road where Kabaka can only travel in a straight line from his palace to Bulange.
Hey, he cannot zigzag.
I know that
Even if he saw a hot bag.
there's a gate that only opens for him. So he can't be like, oh, where first branch of a bit like nada.
That's what they call a magulu nyondo.
Meanwhile, what does that even... okay, here's what confuses me about...
Have you ever seen like...
Hard legs.
Hard leg.
Like Kirk Franklin, his stomp.
We're talking about strength, not... Kirk Franklin is a very short man.
Okay, let me tell you what I find out.
Like magulu nyondo has to have like... He only became tumbwe no gamba.
He's grounded.
Like he's grounded.
That guy knows taekwondo.
Like the calf muscle is like, that's what I mean by magulu nyondo.
Let me tell you what confuses me about Uganda.
The calf muscle is like a hammer.
Me as me, let me say it like a Uganda.
Yes.
Me as me. Why are legs called amagulu? Yet they are down. Yet gulu means
up.
These are things that baffle me. Like, as a person who tried to study languages, I'm just always seated there like, Uganda can be confusing sometimes. But it's okay, I love them either way.
But have you ever seen a flying kick? Ama gulu. The ama.
Okay.
Hey, that's where it comes from. There's science behind.
That is the slickest.
Behind all of
that
this.
is the slickest save I have ever had.
Hey.
Because me, I thought some chick's legs were in the air and she named them while they were
No.
up there. I was just checking. I didn't
the ama
sure.
of gulu. Flying kicks.
Flying kicks.
Yes.
Man, I love this podcast.
Yeah,
I can't
man.
believe you guys
Yeah,
had
man.
Fresh Kid on here.
Fresh Kid is like, I can't imagine how much he has grown.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And honestly, for a guy who was the worst father in the history of parenting, I am so happy for his success. Now,
Why? Why do you say that?
Muzee was out to sabotage the kid.
But I've come to learn, like after hosting him, he's a well-mannered young man.
True.
Very talented. But Ugandans, or the society, has a very different understanding of who he is and how conflicted his parenthood. We didn't get into his parenthood and whatever, but the parents on either side. But the moment I finished the podcast, journalists began calling me, why didn't you host his mother? Why didn't you do that? I was like,
what?
The dad was here. But apparently they have this narrative that he was snatched from the mother. When the dad saw he was successful. I don't know if these stories are real or they just like...
That's not even where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
For me, it was the father competing with the kid for fame. That's the only...
Hey, granddaddy.
Yeah, because
Was it granddaddy or...
Fresh daddy.
Fresh daddy.
Like, that's where I was coming from. It wasn't a thing of, I think he's a horrible father because I think he didn't raise his kid well.
Yeah.
Fresh kid is a cool kid.
But
like,
I think I know where that comes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know where that comes from. Well, because when you're from the ghetto, what you walk away?
You hustle. And me, I think it was
They used
bad
to sing a
management.
break no gamba. I think they gave him some ideas. They were like,
They gave him bad advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it made him look bad in the end. And
But if he had found you to write a few bars for him,
no.
do you know those old UK men who rap? There are two guys from the UK that spit bars.
They added a chick, by the way.
Hey.
Yeah. Now it's like, what was that?
So
movie
there's no
called?
difference between him and those two guys.
Look, I would have no problem with him rapping, right? Or trying out a career
Yes.
and stuff. But here is where that family lost me. Because I've encountered Fresh Kid like twice. Dude is one hell of a performer. He has the confidence of a 40-year-old. Like he goes hard. Like
He's hard.
The kid is
Yes.
he's solid. Where they lost me is number one, Fresh Daddy competing with his son for attention. Let the kid thrive. I'm sure he's going to make enough money for the both of you. He already has the scholarships. He already has these things.
Yes.
And then the music Fresh Daddy was making, man, I was like...
He had the right... His scales writing for him.
You were writing for Fresh Daddy?
Yeah.
Oh, Bambi. Then I think he messed it up on The Voice. The only guy I liked less was John Black. Bua, bua, bua. But
John Black is talented. Very talented.
John Black is talented.
Baby.
But on stage,
I want to
baby. As a performer,
That's what you guys were saying about the guy who was just concluded the concert.
But Apas has improved a lot since his last critique.
Okay.
His critique was way back. The guy beat the show. Did you see the rehearsals he went through? The man did his thing. He did well.
And congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. I wouldn't manage to be there because I was raising UG's next,
You have to represent.
Gotta
And
represent.
get that
man.
collabo.
Gotta represent, man. I had to represent, man.
Uganda's nearly screwed over Fresh Kid.
I was raised in the Fresh Prince of Malibu. The Fresh Prince of Malibu was like...
Malibu stock.
Malibu. I'm not coming for your roast now.
You have to come for the roast.
I'm not coming. Because I see what I'm walking into. I can see clearly you've set me up properly. You peppered me up nicely.
After I address Fresh Kid, I'm going to address something you said on Twitter, which I think is what led to this podcast.
Yes.
Fresh Kid was nearly screwed over by Ugandans. That time when he was performing in bars and the government was like, a kid that young can't be in bars.
Yes.
And Ugandans are like, sure, who are you to tell him he's talented? And I was like, Mweva guy, I don't care how you feel about the government. A kid is a kid.
But why you...
No, put that guy...
I feel you. I agree with you on the point.
Put him on Totos. Put him on those Go Green campaigns where there's fellow kids. He does not belong to the debauchery of a bar. And I'm glad he came out okay.
Yes.
I'm really happy for who he is. And I'm
He's
glad
a very solid, well-behaved young man.
And I like that.
Very solid, yeah.
From a disciplinarian
I think the parents, Kampala parents, the mother, whoever the managers were, have done a very good job with him so far.
Yeah, so far. And I hope he stays stable that way.
Yes.
He looks chill and stuff. Now, between you and I, you posted a tweet that said, I can be funnier than Salvador, Daniel Omara, and Dr. Hillary. Okay?
Hey.
And I found that hilarious, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not because I didn't believe what you said.
Yes.
But part of me was like, I would love to test this theory.
Here we are.
Because I'm that guy. I'm that guy. If you tell me something can't be done, I'm like,
Do comedians do battles?
Okay.
Like the roast is not really battle, but is there like an equivalent of your mama?
We do battles at the end of every show. It is like a culture that we introduce the Kenyans to in Uganda, right?
Yes.
So after the show ends, we're all on stage chilling and just pick a random guy from the lineup.
Yes.
And first cook that more for a bit.
Like Salvador. Why do you look like?
Among other things.
Tebow
yes. From Friday. Because let's be honest, Salvador looks like Tebow.
I've had so many, but I didn't have that one. I hadn't had that one.
That's the first. Every time I see Salvador, I hear that bicycle creeping down the road. Quick, guys, come show up and ask for my jewelry.
Yes.
And we just roast each other. And I want you to look for a clip from a stand-up collective in Nairobi, as with a guy called Vafa. He's from South Africa. And there's me from Uganda, and then there's a whole bunch of Kenyans. And we're just roasting each other on stage. And the Kenyans are like, this doesn't happen
anywhere. So it's a Ugandan innovation
of roasting each other at the end of the show. You get like
yes.
When you do
Ugandans can innovate. We innovate every day. We innovate.
When you do the curtain call, like all the comedians on stage, just to do a bow for the audience.
Yeah.
For us, we take the opportunity to just sort our beef.
Yes.
Yeah, you roast a guy. And,
you
roast, you pass the mic, someone fires back, another guy jumps on you.
One mic.
One or two.
Yes.
Usually one for budget reasons. But we roast each other.
Yeah.
And we've done battles.
Yeah.
On stage. There's the battle of the finest. I think there's one between Afande Kelekele and MC Kapale.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Yes.
It happened?
It happened. Under Comedy Files.
But
they went in. Those guys looked like they were going to fight on stage. I mean, the combat was choreographed, but it looked really good, right?
Okay.
And maybe
I would have loved to see that.
Oh, it was dope. And
yes. Who won, in your opinion?
That's the thing. There was no winner because the whole idea was to have two performers with their best content go at it on stage. It wasn't for a winner. Now, I've seen rap battles. I was at one of Play One's rap battles against, what was his name? Painkiller. There's a guy called Painkiller who challenged Play One to a battle in 2017. I don't know if Painkiller recovered from the pain. I honestly...
The guy's name is Painkiller.
Yeah, and this is funny because Play One was my housemate at the time.
Yes.
For like 4 years.
Yes.
We lived in the same house. So he would come and test the bars on me, and I was that guy. Ooh, whoa, eh. You get that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
But you guy, a rap battle is something I would love to try.
Yes.
A rap battle is something I would love to try
Yes.
against an actual rapper.
You're actually in the den of wolves because we are just about to organize one.
Same way you want to try comedy.
Yes, someone want to try comedy. I don't want what happened to T.I. to happen to me.
I don't know.
T.I., they were crickets.
T.I. did... Okay, I think here's what happened to T.I. T.I. has the same problem as Ugandan TikTokers. He didn't listen. Because we told... So Alex
Yes.
has an open platform. Comedy store. If you're bringing him numbers, he's going to give you stage. Alex is not a mentor. Alex is in the production side of things.
Yes, you should come ready with a product.
You come correct
Yes.
with your talent and your content.
Yes.
His job is not to build your material for you, right? His job is to showcase you, give you the platform, and
Yes.
pay you for your performance.
Yes.
All the TikTokers had to do was tell the stand-up comedians, hey, how do we learn this? And show up. The lessons are free.
But the TikTokers were there pouring buckets of water on themselves and dancing in underwear.
We have more numbers than you. What are you saying? My following is bigger than you. I'm like, your following is, but the moment you step on that stage, I want you to remember one important thing about stand-up comedy. There's no take two.
Hey, there's no take two.
You can't say, cut, let's shoot
you
that
can't,
again.
And you can't buy your numbers.
You cannot. So I saw so many TikTokers die on stage. They would show up and the audience would give them a standing ovation the moment they walk on the stage. Wow! Wow!
Yes.
And at the back of my mind, it's not that I wanted them to fail.
How did my friend do?
It was coming.
Sesabat.
Well,
Sesabat, Yangue was a goano.
no, but please, ask the dude. He may
Yes.
not have done too badly.
Yes. Because I think Sesabat is funny with
memes.
what do you call that? He's a meme comedian?
He's a meme comedian.
Ne abulamu mu stand up chogamba.
He has interesting captions for photos.
Yes.
His online humor is a whole other
It's a whole
thing. Yeah.
So he's a master of that.
He's a master of that.
Yeah.
And listen, I'll give you an example of Kansime. Kansime is a highly trained theater practitioner.
Adeto muwana because you're working together.
Not even because of that. I'm just
Because
giving you an example.
Ndaba yotandise okumpanga ontwala
Okay, wehako
ontwala
beginner.
ku air Kansime.
Wehako be a bear.
Okay,
Yeah, like
yes.
thing. So, Kansime's success is attributed to her ability to adapt. Kansime is a highly trained theater practitioner.
Yes.
Right? She is very good at skits.
Yes.
She is a voice actress.
I actually first saw her doing voice acting before anything else. Me personally.
Rock Point 256,
Yes,
all those
yes,
things.
yes.
She is a very good actress. Film and stage, right?
Yes.
But stand-up is a whole other beast. So when her skits took off and she started gaining popularity, she appreciated that. There was no way she was going to export skits.
Yes.
Because people watch you online, they see your skits.
Yes.
But when they call you for a gig, are you going to take 15 people you've been with in skits?
No.
There's too much pressure on the organizers,
Yes.
financially and in every other sense of the word. What did
Yes.
she do? She chooses to learn stand-up comedy. That was her evolution.
Yes.
She picked Kotilda as her creative director.
Yes.
And then Kakai was her manager. So they would travel as what we'd call the trio of bitches. Kotilda, Kakai, Kansime.
The trio of
bitches. That was the nickname.
trio of bitches.
Yeah. And she went on to conquer the world.
Yes.
Because she didn't sit back and say, I'm good at skits. Sure, what are you telling me? She said,
Yes,
no, I
yes.
need to figure things out.
So in terms of hierarchy of all this, I know you tell me the Kansime story. But in terms of hierarchy, because Kansime has performed well nearly in all categories of comedy.
Yeah.
Yaingira como film, right?
Yeah, she's been in film. I think she's currently on JDC.
Stand-up? Did you do stand-up?
She has done stand-up is what she
Oh,
exports.
I haven't watched JDC, but my friend directs JDC.
Manze,
Manze.
hard guy.
I need to check that out. So she had done skits, she had done stand-up. So in terms of hierarchy of comedy, if there's such a thing, are you telling me that stand-up is at the top of everything?
I am telling you.
What is the highest form of comedy excellence?
Oh, no. I think a mastery of at least 3 of those would be the highest form of comedy. Because sketch comedians fear us as much as we fear them. Fun Factory.
What do you consider yourself to be? Sketch?
I'm a stand-up
because
comedian.
you write sketch too.
I write sketch.
But you're stand-up.
But stand-up is my passion and my thing.
Okay.
Like, I am more comfortable operating on stage alone. It's where my strength is.
Yes.
And I know my brothers in the industry and sisters have the same vibe, right?
Yes.
Now, Fun Factory has a very unique element. And this is why these guys will never die as a squad. Guys have known each other since Namasagali, 1968, those days when we were born.
When you were born.
Let me add people like Tuwanje, who doesn't age.
Hey, Richard.
There's an advantage to being short. People always think you're young. So
some friend of mine here is a producer. I was calling them Micro King.
Not
me. You look for a guy called Green. He's always said that.
That is diabolical. That man's
I
green
know.
with envy.
Yes.
But you have those guys. Fun Factory is a family unit.
Yes.
You cannot achieve what they do on a first-time meeting. Which means they have to constantly keep working together to build a rapport that allows them to read each other in real time while they're on stage performing.
Yes. So is it somehow from outside looking in, sometimes it looks like it's improv.
There's a lot of improv.
Yes.
They have a script, they rehearsed whatever it is they're doing, but there's lots of improv. Someone can forget a line and you have to cue them.
Yes.
On their next line. I think for me, personally, one of the reasons I succeeded so well in the hostel was because having Tuwanje as a co-star and a roommate.
Yes.
I had like a big brother in the industry who was more experienced in this and could guide me through it.
Yes.
And all I had to do was
shout
be
outs
myself.
to Richard, by the way.
Shout outs to Tuwanje. Even if you didn't allow me to join Theatre Factory in 2007, I understand. I understand why now.
Yes.
No, because it's, like I said, family unit.
Yes.
You don't just enter and fit in. You have to be there. Now, the thing about stand-up is you can join a team and still be solo as an individual.
I see.
Now, our ability to do that affects our ability to work with teams. Like you put a stand-up comedian in a sketch comedy setting, he's on the individualist side of things. The other guys are on the team side of things. You put a sketch comedian in stand-up, there's no one to back them up if they forget a line.
Yes.
So the dynamics are different. There is no hierarchy. I think slapstick is one of the hardest, honestly. It is the most looked down upon. But slapstick.
Why is it hard? They never give you a cooler slapstick.
Imagine they told you to rap without words.
I can shadow box for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is by the way, you are talking about you are interested in doing a battle rap and like rap yourself.
Yeah.
The first thing I advise people to do is without any words, and this is how you also build stage character. Shadow box. The best shadow boxer, I think, in my view, comes from the group called Wu-Tang, or Method Man.
Ooh, Method Man.
So the Method Man, even if you mute the TV and just watch any of their videos from the 90s, you get me? Yeah. You're going to be entertained. But this is just a rapper.
Method Man and Busta
But the
Rhymes.
way he shadow boxes and moves through the whole record, it's not dancing. Before my rappers battling against dancing.
Yeah.
Well, the Wallo generation you have a Heavy D as in anger.
Yeah.
And it was okay to dance. Heavy D.
But go on.
This is the traps I'm walking into, eh?
Listen, I had props to Heavy D for all the musicians he put in the industry.
So the Raga D's also.
Soul for real. Raga D is like, just having sex after a blunt. That sounds like something Vibes Cartel would say. Jaina, need a Raga D.
Oh my God. If we don't get cancelled after today, ladies and gentlemen, we are safe. So